1, 2, 1, 2.
Three red lights, guys. There's 1, 2, 3.
Oh, fuck. Shit.
That's all right, though, because I will just bump it up. She'll be right.
She'll be crazy.
Are we just starting?
Oh, man.
But that was a good warm-up. Shall I press the button?
1, 2.
You're kidding.
So good.
Do a clap.
That's the edit that in.
Here we are, episode 16. About how long were we into the conversation then?
Oh, that was a good...
20 minutes?
Good long time, 20 minutes.
So-
I thought it was just getting somewhere as
Yeah,
well.
we were. So we're here.
We're red hot now. We're like the chili peppers. We've been practicing for 5 hours. We're hitting the stage.
We're ready to go.
Yeah, let's hit it.
We
I'll
go.
be Flea.
Are we redoing the intro now?
We might as well. Fuck
Are
it.
we fully re-recording? Yeah. Shit.
No, man, we're just flowing. But we got,
Is that a stitch up? Like, is that how you break the ice here? And like, oh yeah, he's ready now to talk. He's ready now. Yeah, press it. Like, fuck, man.
shit.
Technology.
Wow.
That was the best intro I think we've ever done.
Jesus.
So we forgot to hit the record on the audio for anyone that's wondering
Yeah.
what's going on. But
Fuck.
we're here. Episode
It's just so
16
funny.
with Veggie.
Sorry.
So what's that? No audio up to that point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not
right,
much.
right.
Not much.
Wow.
It's just funny
Wow.
because we thought we were over that. We're pumping them out. We're fucking doing great. This is gold. And
But it's called jazz. You just got to roll.
yeah,
That's good. We could even just leave that as an intro.
You know that?
we'll see how it was
Great.
You know
guys.
that?
Good long intro.
There's a. If you go looking on YouTube, there's a look up the Rolling Stones and that, and there's this thing where they're playing like Muddy Waters or someone's playing on the
he's
stage,
cool.
and then he starts calling up like Mick Jagger come up and Keith Richards come-
Jam.
Yeah. You see the bloke that's playing the guitar that does not fucking like it all that he's got to give his guitar to Keith Richards. He's just, like, but he does. He hands it on over, and he just got replaced. Yeah, that's a good music. Yeah.
I think it was Chuck Berry. He punched Keith Richards out.
Right.
Yeah, for touching his guitar, and they were doing a gig together. And,
Wow.
And Keith was in Chuck's dressing room, and Chuck went out and came back, and Keith had picked the guitar up or something like that.
Yeah, right.
And just fucking smashed him.
I don't think it'd be that hard, to be honest.
No,
No, that's right.
threw some water at him.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So
That's
so
real
yeah,
jealous,
true.
but
Guitars.
Oh, that's not nice.
You
is
don't
it?
want to be
that's jealous.
replaced though.
No, it's not nice being replaced.
No,
Have you ever been
especially-
replaced?
Oh, plenty of times by girls.
Yeah, my resume is like 3 pages long.
Yeah, as a contractor as well, a few times.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
hell.
That's true. Well, we all know the feeling then, I suppose.
Yeah, well, you don't want to turn up with your guitar thinking you're in a band and here's this guy fucking playing your song.
You know, who's he?
Actually, that happened to Dave Mustaine.
Happens to a lot of bands. I
He
think,
was in
the studio.
Metallica. This is early days. They haven't even released an album. And he's thinking he's fucking made king shit here, playing all the solos on the songs, writing half the songs, thinking, this is going to get me somewhere. Wakes up one morning, the whole band's standing above him with his bag packed. See ya.
Oh, man.
You're fucking out of here. And he's like, whoop, 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 like,
And then,
so now he's he's been thrown out of one of the biggest bands of all time.
isn't it because he brought his dog to the recording studio?
Oh,
or
there's
something like that?
he punched. There's
That's
a really
ridiculous.
long story.
Get him away from it. We need to get back on the booze.
We need the booze.
No, well,
I was going to bring a 6-pack when I was on my way over. I was thinking
Nah.
Curraville keg was, and I was thinking, no.
That's cool.
No, we just got the
I'm
talking to
doing
at work
fuck
this
February
morning.
where you don't drink.
No.
We'll just get high as fuck.
But I have started breathing, man. I started WIM. You know, I was a bit sceptical, because if there's one thing I've learned in my life is that you can't trust a man with a comb over. And that's the
Yeah.
problem. Oh, man, why has he
Yeah,
got
right.
that comb over, man?
Yeah, I don't like the comb over.
What are you hiding up there?
Yeah.
Can you go that way, dude? Just, I'm just
Oh,
worried
maybe.
about the
I
frame.
was making these hangers.
Maybe
What's
it's
going on here?
maybe it's growing right back,
It could. Well,
and he's loving it
from the
because it's like
breathing.
check this shit out.
This is the sprout breath.
Yeah, this is because I'm in through my nose. The nose.
man, I didn't think of it that way, but
you did-
that's probably what happened.
You did go for 2 minutes, didn't you? You were saying?
What was your breath of?
Yeah, no, a
It's
longest.
not about that.
Yeah, it was. It's not about, but you end up. doing
You too.
it. The first, 3 minutes, I think 5 seconds or
I
something.
told you, man. That's what
Boom.
I'm saying.
That is
like,
It's
insane.
fucking insane.
Yeah.
What was your
You blow out.
very first one you did? You said was really big too.
Well, yeah, it was 2 minutes. I've never had
Like
my
for
breath
never
more,
doing it?
Never,
Yeah.
not more than 50 seconds.
Yeah.
And so I'm doing it every morning, man. It's such an easy thing to do in bed. Just when you wake up, do this breathing exercise, then go have a cold shower. It's fucking weird. I'm actually craving an ice bath. So I do this breathing, and now I
Yeah.
get so hot, I want to jump in the fucking ice. Yeah, I'm going to
Yeah,
do it this
right.
weekend, I think. Fucking, I'm going to be the ice man.
Jump in the pool. the 28-degree pool.
No, but he put 3 ice cubes in there.
There was that bit where they were kept on pouring ice cubes in the bath, and he kept melting it.
Keep
Like they
melting
couldn't
it on
keep
him.
the ice up
Wow.
to him in the bathtub
Yeah.
because he was determined to turn up his temperature and do what he
do it.
It's all
just
breathing,
locked
man.
onto doing what he was doing.
Didn't he
And
do
just
Everest?
warmed up the bloody ice bath.
Yeah, he did Everest.
Yeah, yeah, like,
Bare,
got like
barefoot, but
Oh, in his shorts, mate.
maybe
Yeah.
5,000 meters, or no, 5,000 feet from the top.
Oh, you didn't summit?
Barefoot in board shorts kind of thing.
Yeah.
No, because he cut his foot so bad, they were begging him to go back through their fucking oxygen tanks. You know, what was that? I can't hear you. You know?
I'm doing fantastic.
Yes, in through the nose, and they made him turn back. So he's otherwise.
But he's done
who knows?
Kilimanjaro and shit.
Yeah,
Like, he
what a-
trains
yeah.
people to do it all the
Fantastic.
time.
Yeah.
yeah, a few fighters are getting him, eh?
Yeah, he's good, man. Like, I did it over the COVID period for
Oh, did you?
a few weeks. It was wicked. I liked it.
Yeah,
I thought it helped me. It helped calm me down. Or then,
Yeah.
like, I can't remember why I was doing it. I just wanted to get a bit spacey
Oh, you just
without
jumped on-
taking anything. So
Jumped
it
on
was just
YouTube and
Making the
checked it
time.
out?
Yeah, you just have
Just
to do it.
actually do it
Yeah.
is part of that. Really enjoying it and getting into it is,
Yeah.
because you're making that now a part of your day.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's a good way to start. I was looking for a routine in the morning.
Yeah,
'Cause
it's a
my
nice
current routine
addition,
sucks.
and you're like, yeah, And so a lot of people they do it a few times or whatever, like myself, and then for whatever reason stop, and
Yeah.
then you're like
It's like,
hearing
yeah.
other people talk positively about it. It's like
But what's
makes
really
you go,
helped,
"Fuck, I
man?
really
'cause
should get back on that.
especially now- I'm not doing alcohol, but I don't miss it at all.
This is going to
Great.
like snap my dick off if I don't get up and turn the alarm off. If I wake up the young fella, so it'd be like, yeah, hit the alarm, now I can now in through the nose. Yeah.
So what was your routine then if you
Um,
wanted to change? What were you doing?
What was I doing?
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Just
really,
kind of,
Waking up
Floating around?
yeah, like getting
Yeah.
up, fucking, the kids kind of are up watching TV.
yeah, okay.
We're not supposed to do it. Then I'd slobber downstairs, try and get a coffee, go up front. Like, just, it was just a shit routine, you know.
That sounds
I
pretty
want-
good to me.
I want to be more onto it for
Going
the
out
kids.
the front,
you
having
know.
a coffee.
I get it. It's like you're setting your day.
Yeah.
Trying to set your day right.
That's right.
Destroy
You get up,
the
you're
day.
oxygenated, you're happy.
Yeah.
And it makes me kind of happy.
Yeah,
you know,
it's good
so,
shit.
So, yeah, it is. I can really see
Do you-
me doing it for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Do you still drink a coffee then?
I've been
in
on
the morning or
decaf. It's only
Yeah, right.
decaf coffee. It's only for the, what is it, the warmth and, you know,
Yeah,
like it becomes
yeah.
like
Yeah.
cigarettes. It's like a routine. It's
Yeah.
not
Well,
an
even
actual-
like
yeah.
when people are like, oh, I don't know, I don't smoke, but people that smoke and they're like, oh, but it relaxes me. It's like you stop doing what's giving you the shits. And you go and sit down over there and have a fucking cigarette. Like, it's
Yeah,
stopping
yeah,
and sitting
yeah.
down. That's part of the relax.
The breathing air
I don't
as
know.
well as-
That's a
I'm
good
not-
perspective for
Yeah.
people to look
I'm-
at because I don't think many people think
No.
of that. It's the time out.
Yeah.
Like the mental space.
Yeah,
It's just that you have
because
to
someone
like
who's
distract.
smoking while they're fixing this thing, they're fucking still angry. That doesn't help them. You know what I mean?
That's so true.
They go over there and be a bit happier, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Well,
It's
don't
the
they
space.
say it's the oxygen they're taking in with the big breaths as well as that you
Yeah.
know, like calms them down, how they,
Yeah.
What I was thinking about today actually was like for a lot of the drugs, like cannabis is a big one that you know, you put it into your body, mind, you kind of alter your consciousness, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's fucking illegal, but you can smoke cigarettes that kill how many a year?
Lots.
Alcohol.
Like you get head buzz off it.
Yeah.
And it's illegal. You know, that's legal
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's coming down to like it'd come down to
It's coming down to
taxable
money
stuff.
and-
Like
You're
you can
breaking-
grow
if-
a plant in your backyard if you wanted to.
But they can do it now.
If
Like
you-
in America,
if
they're
you got-
doing it.
yeah,
if you
exactly.
grew an acre of tobacco and an acre of dope side by side and the coppers come round, they're going to ream you for that tobacco. Australian Taxation Office, where the fuck have we've been missing out?
Yeah.
All the different licenses, and you just broke 25 fucking rules.
Yeah, not just
And
the
you
one.
weren't paying tax and,
Yeah.
and it was all sorts. This other one, this acre over here, it's just illegal, and look how many plants you've got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? Like, you know,
I knew this would tip him off.
no, it's just, this one thing gives me the shit.
Yeah.
You know, like what's statistically significant is what the news likes to tell you, because people like fucking looking at maps of the world and look at all
graphs.
the countries around that are green where cannabis is allowed in all these countries. Australia's green now because of Canberra and their silly rules they've got down there, where if you were going to get in trouble off the police for growing a commercial quantity, I think that was 45 plants. So if you're growing 44, you could go in and kind of start arguing, I was growing it all for myself. But now
they've got big problem.
Back then it was just illegal, and there was different stages of where are you at within how illegal were you being, you know? But now it's 2 plants per person, 4 plants maximum a house. So now, technically, they've dropped what was commercial from 45 down to 3.
Oh shit! Is that right? Really? Far out.
Yeah, we're fucking legalized. Yeah. Look, what the fuck? You're not allowed to grow inside. You're not allowed to have a light or any kind of supplemental fucking anything. It's only allowed to be grown outside. In the harsh as fuck ACT. It's fucking winter up until November, and then it smashes you for summer. It's as dry as all hell, and then it's back to fucking winter. It's not really very conducive to growing a vegetable garden.
Yeah.
Who grows fucking what in Canberra? It's pine trees and shit.
Yeah, that's right.
And the soil looks shit.
It's fucked. So
Canberra is
that's
fucked.
But because the ACT has these rules, that's like it's all right.
Yeah, everyone goes on about it.
Australia looks to the rest of the world as though, you know, yep, Holland's just as green and blah blah blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the way that they would arrest people down there in Canberra and stuff too, relation to things. the arrest and the crime statistics and that.
Yeah.
When you're talking countries of the world, what you're talking generally is their capital.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's like, kind of like, you know, when from town to town, you know how far they distance from town to town, from post office to post office.
Yeah.
So if it's 25 kilometres to Wollongong, it's 25 to Wollongong post office.
Yeah.
All right? So I don't remember where I was heading with that.
I like it.
But statistically significant, you know what I mean? Like, and so that when they talk about countries of the world and different things, they talk about like, oh look, their capitals, this is the rules in their capital, so this is technically
Yeah,
that
yeah.
country's
Yeah.
views or,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
you know
they
what I
take
mean?
a tiny portion of
And
society and
so-
say that's what the country thinks.
And so that's why they just went and got some fuckwit politicians
But easy to
who
find
writes
in
this
Canberra.
shit like that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, so Australia's as we're cool over here, aren't we? You know, like fuck,
Just don't
fucking
get too
dead.
cool.
Yeah, just don't actually be cool. Just fucking like
Just pretend,
you know when
yeah.
you like now that I've grown up and you know turning 40 soon. There's just
Oh,
a random you know.
There you go.
It's a good age.
So I don't know why I kind of felt weird when I was 29 turning 30, feeling like a bit of fuck.
Like it was all
Missing
over.
out or some sort of something.
Yeah.
And now I'm turning
Yeah.
40. I'm like, I don't even want a cake. You know?
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah, you don't give a fuck.
Okay.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Jim Jeffries talking about his old man getting depression. Had depression for a lot of years. And then one day he wasn't depressed anymore.
Yep.
And Jim Jeffries is like, what's the secret? What are you taking in that? And he just goes, I just got old. I stopped caring.
Yeah.
Well, that's great.
Uplifting.
Yeah. Stop giving a fuck that he was depressed and then he got happier.
It's rather zen-like, isn't it? It's like Buddha.
You go for a pee break around time like that, don't you? Just be like, rehash, start again.
But anyway, so are we going to go back over the fucking developmental?
I can't remember all that now.
Yeah. That was a really good
just
rant.
like the mercury that's in our environment, that's in the, when they say like it accumulates up through the fish in the ocean, and so don't eat too much mercury, sorry, don't eat too much fish, tuna, because it's full of mercury. We can edit that into one clean sentence.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that, mate.
Look like a plane's crashing into the building in 9/11. Fucking, the 40% of the mercury that's in the environment that is the accumulating that's going on is purely from coal-fired power stations. Like it's never the argument when they talk about, we shouldn't have coal power, or we need to have wind power, or, like of all of the points and when they make them and this and that. And the media is the intelligent ones. All you motherfuckers, journalists that go to fucking university so you can work for the Daily Mail, you bunch of grubs. Fucking go and report bullshit. Like it's just, you have the opportunity. You go to uni and learn, and so you can get a piece of paper that says you know how to research shit and ask hard questions, and then you fucking don't. And like, Carrie Bickmore and those fucking Waleed and, the fuckwits. We can, we're going to cut that. I'm just ranting now like a dickhead. That's definitely coming
Don't
out.
worry, this makes for gold, man.
Yeah, don't worry.
This is in the highlight.
Memes everywhere.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Don't do it to me. No, you just got me.
Get what you're saying, but
No, but like
because they're getting educated.
Everyone sits down at night and watches what they've got to tell them to think, and they don't think because they just tell them nothing to think about.
Yeah, they blank you. They're running the narrative. They tell you what their company tells them to tell you.
Yeah,
basically.
that would be
the news and the journalism. We've talked about this before. It had there was a different respect for it back in the day. They tend to actually used to be analytical in the way they reported on things, and they were open to all the sides. Whereas now, it's just like you're either getting on our wavelength and this is the truth, and anything outside of that is wrong, and you're wrong for thinking that, and you're bad for thinking that, and then that drives a population against any other alternative opinions to things.
I think it's going to backfire on them so bad because people just have too much information now. We can make our own minds up. So the whole top-down idea of the BBC telling us what the truth is, and we all listen because we used to believe the BBC is the good one. And it was always fucked, And so
if you're like, the more intelligent person reads the Australian. They all come from the same printer.
Accent, and that's all. Like it's a racist thing, really. An English guy with a nice English accent, everyone fucking thinks they know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, there's a way they do the news, isn't there? It's an up and down.
Oh, it's gross. And then I have someone raped and murdered, and the next thing's about fucking some idiot kicking a ball.
Yeah.
It's like, this is no wonder we're psychotic as a species. Yeah. It's like, we got to turn that shit off, but not Smack Panda podcast.
No, that kick in the ball,
guys.
That kick in the ball is so
plug.
important, mate. It's so important. Like,
I do like sport.
Let's talk about the Steelers for a bit.
No. Because, like, the sport is like it's where you're allowed to scream at the referee. You're allowed to completely vent your anger and be like, cheer for your team, hate the opposition. That referee fucking cost us. Like that's where you are allowed to let it free and never once. Like you've just copped 40 minutes worth of how the politicians are letting you down, or things that are going terrible, and then now these motherfucking Australian Formula One driver just comes last all the time, or you know what I mean? Like you know how
they get into it,
and then next thing you know you're allowed to vent. It's the 2-minute hate, is that what it's called?
Just a good name for a band.
Yeah, it is.
A punk band.
You know where They just scream.
Oh, sorry, that was me tapping. I was
Oh,
really
I was
excited.
like,
I was
yeah,
like a
knock at
rabbit.
the door.
So
Yeah, I might steal that name.
So that's the point of release sport. So
yes.
It's a good distraction, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think there was a Caesar that said something like, give him a circus and you can fucking
Look at like
pull the
say
wool over their eyes.
like blokes bashing each other is addictive. Like you love watching boxing and
There we go.
NFL
Might
and
be
like
watching
you know
it.
like
That's-
people watch the Super Bowl
Yeah,
when it's
yeah.
on that don't normally watch
Yeah.
football at
Yeah,
all. and
that's
that because,
strange, yeah.
Like
They don't even know
they're
the
looking
rules,
for
but
a
they're
big
watching
hit
it.
and they're looking for
Yeah.
like the miracle play and they're looking for the demonstrations
watch
of
that game.
I
things.
also think
I did.
And then like that's their moment to vent.
I think that's about being involved in something too.
Yeah, a bit tribal,
if
eh?
you look at like let's use fights in the Super Bowl. Man, I've never watched an NFL game in my life. I'll look at the athletes sometimes because I like looking at what makes great athletes. But you'd flick the Super Bowl on because it's the Super Bowl. Everyone's going to talk about it, and you want to be involved in that. It's like the Pacquiao, excuse me, Pacquiao and Mayweather fight. Like every lady and a dog knew about it,
Yeah.
and probably even watched it, and it was like talking like they understood what's happening within it. But it's just that it was a popular, because the
But
pop
that was a
culture
huge
thing,
thing, wasn't
because
it?
of the
Melbourne Cup,
build up to
yeah.
it. So it was the same, exactly, Melbourne
Yeah.
Cup. I don't ever watch
Melbourne
horse
Cup every-
racing.
yeah.
or
I don't
anything.
watch Melbourne Cup.
Most people get,
Every
most people
fucking
get
expert
into
out
it,
there,
like,
you know, like, oh, how'd you go? You know, you always know someone who got a trifecta. There's always
Yeah.
someone, but yeah, all the experts.
But that's what it
Yes,
is. It's
exactly.
just about building that. People just want to be involved in something
Yeah.
bigger than themselves.
And it turns them off to all the garbage that's out there, right?
But
in
that's
the
the
world.
thing is, you don't be angry at the banks for robbing you. Don't be angry at the politicians for writing the laws to fucking let them and look the other way for here, there, and everywhere. Don't be angry at the policies about that. Don't question those things. Be angry at the referee because he
yeah.
blah blah blah. You know,
Yeah,
like,
It's like a release
Yeah,
valve.
it is.
Yeah.
It's like kicking your
and
dog,
so
isn't
the
it?
sport
It's a
and
clever
news is
manipulation.
extremely important.
Yeah, it is.
Back to you.
It's one of
being
the
like an
tools. Yeah, it can be.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Because I found I remember one of the best game I've ever watched. I really enjoyed it, and it was like I actually prefer amateur sports. I think and it was like the AFL, yeah, in Adelaide, and they had two like local Aboriginal teams playing,
Yeah.
and they were just like normal people, like 40-year-old guys and stuff. Fuck, they played hard. It was such a good game.
Usually it's the opposite and it's rubbish.
Well,
you can't watch it.
They'll tire out, but you
Yeah.
can see they're
Yeah.
really going for it, and then they'll stand there. Bug it up. Like, that's more entertaining to me,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
real people trying to...
I think
do
there's
something
less
like that.
there's less involvement too, so it's like less Big Brother in of everything.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Sports, and the players can't even barely be themselves now because they're got to be so worried about commercial contracts and
Yeah.
That's
their
right,
own
full out.
sponsors.
Yeah.
It's- you can't even have your own opinion. It's bullshit. It's
Yeah.
like, well, what's the point of even interviewing if you just got to give them
Read this out.
It's like a dictatorship.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
a lot
it
of
is,
jobs are
yeah.
coming like that.
yeah. It's a
There's one I know of is becoming like that.
Smack down the podcast.
No, we're not.
driving me hard.
Fucking assholes, these edits are getting out of control.
Yeah, it's,
No, it's that whole slave mentality, isn't it?
it's crazy the NRL and that players how they're so the same, aren't they? They really are.
Well,
Can't be nothing.
Yeah.
Like I realise, like say, like look at that Payne Haas thing the other day where like he's gone wild and given the coffers a good
Oh, yeah,
mouthful.
yeah, yeah.
You know, he's
Yeah,
he's-
that's right.
He's told them all,
Yeah.
and then if all the circumstances were taken into account, the magistrate ordinarily or let him go, didn't they? Didn't they said, no recorded nothing. He'd had a death in the family and gone
that's
out
right.
on the drink, I believe, and.
Yeah.
And then somewhere along the line, this has all happened and gone wrong. He's been confronted by those coppers. Well, he's told them all where to go, good and proper, and then so they've decided to arrest him. But the way the NRL's come down on him is just ridiculous compared to
the actual
you know?
crime. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they
And-
want them to be all. I used to think they did it on purpose. Before the start of every season, there was always some
Kind of
like
like- yeah.
allegations or some shit against
Bit
them.
of hype.
Yeah, they'd hype it up. And it was like every fucking year, you know, on cue.
You know what
the
else?
season's going to start. You know,
You know what else fucks me off? The way they promote the state of origin. You look at the state of origin. There's blokes like it's illegal shit.
Oh,
in
yeah,
all
the
of
big
the
hits,
shots that
yeah.
go on and that. Technically, they promote it with what you're not allowed to do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Like,
the biff.
why do they do that?
Yeah, if it's not the
Huh?
the
Yeah.
real
Because it's this
game anymore.
bullshit game now.
It's interesting.
Nothing like what it was.
Yeah, it's
Nah,
not,
yeah, it's not like
not
the
like
golden age.
Yes.
the Steel Age.
Yeah, it's back in the Steelers. Look at this.
Was that a 92
Yeah.
shirt, is it?
This is Troy Herbert. A bloke I used to play footy with.
Okay.
He gave me his footy
Champion.
jumper from back in the day when he played a couple of games for the Steelers.
Good on him.
He gave me one of his jumpers, so
Ah,
good on
that's
you.
awesome.
Good on
He's
you.
out there.
Still looking after it.
Yeah.
Just like you asked, I've never worn it to work. I've never,
Never trashed
yeah,
it.
Yeah. It's good. Never
That's
wear it for any
great.
training or nothing.
Now it's
yeah,
getting
yeah, he'd
yeah.
break me.
publicity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's out there.
he'll-
Best team.
Yeah,
Once
best
they
team ever.
finished up, I didn't have a team.
Yeah, I was the same. Where I just
Stop watching it.
kind of,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. You were still like watching it, but you're just like, no, it's not the same. As,
No, it wasn't the same. Fuck.
Yeah,
Golden era of
absolutely
football.
ridiculous. Yeah, and
When did they end up finish up? Do you remember? It's 94 or something.
I don't know.
Yeah, well,
I was still only like pretty young.
And people that don't know, this is the Illawarra Steelers we're talking about.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
a rugby league team from Illawarra. In Australia, rugby league's a hybrid kind of rugby union game, not like your gridiron if you're in the States, which I think gridiron was a hybrid of rugby originally, but they didn't
Yeah,
know
I
how to
think
do
you're right,
scrums,
yeah.
so they just bullshitted this thing. So there we
You're
go.
probably
That's a
right.
quick rundown
You're probably
for
right
that.
with that fucking scrum
It's
thing.
it's definitely the hotter of the two sisters.
Yeah, for sure. So there's like triplets there, and this is the team. This is the local team.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they got amalgamated with
Yeah.
the hated St George.
I hated
Oh
St.
my
George
God.
too.
Yeah,
How they did
Yeah.
that to the Steelers is
yeah, and they always St. George players that they kept that like went and retired like 1 or 2 years later,
Yeah.
and they had to go and let
Yeah,
go of
yeah.
all of the younger blokes that went on and played for Australia. And,
Fuck.
like did won premierships elsewhere.
It was only like a few years though. They had a run where they came from one of the shittest teams in the whole comp to made the top 4.
yeah.
Like, if you look back at it-
no, they were alive in the 5.
That's right.
Yes,
When was
they were alive.
95? Was it?
No,
95 alive in the 5?
Maybe it
Or
was. I think
am I
it was
just making shit up because it rhymes?
90. Yeah, I don't know. You gotta get. You gotta get.
boys.
You have to get Rod Wishart or someone on here and
Fucking
And
yeah, I
find
want
out, yeah.
Rod
You gotta
Wishart.
get a
If you're
local-
listening, come on.
yeah. Go. One of the old, not old. Sorry, mate. Sure, you're fitter than me. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, get a bloke from that era. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Probably
Yeah.
similar memory to myself.
Well,
of the
Matt's
whole
sitting
time.
over there hating on us because he likes Union.
Yeah, what do I like now? I don't know.
No, you like
I
arm
do like
wrestling.
Union. Yeah, I like arm wrestling now. I think it's better than...
You like Union or you just like winning?
I didn't like the winning, actually. It just fucked me off. The All Blacks win again.
Yeah.
I'm not into that.
You get
I like
over
the
it,
New
eh?
Zealand League team because they
it's
might
like-
win every 4 games.
It's like Australia.
exciting,
It's like
yeah.
Australia playing England in rugby league.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
just
yeah.
Fucking wipe the floor of them every time. Like just
It's not interesting, man.
That's how the cricket
Australia's-
got for me for a while.
fucking
Australia
private
just win-
school
win
rugby
all the time.
just doesn't work. You know.
It works
Yeah.
in like the Union works in New Zealand. If you see New Zealand games versus what they passed as rugby union here, it's a world.
Yeah.
They're never going to fucking beat
Yeah.
the All Blacks the way they play over here.
I went
It's,
to a wedding in Fiji last year, and we ended up going to a local game of footy, which was a semi-final of the Fijian like high school thing.
Okay, yeah.
Oh my god! Like these guys they were fantastic.
Yeah.
Like the athletic, like everyone was, but they were so fit, and some of them were so big, and you can't believe these guys are 17, 18
Yeah,
years
yeah.
old, and it was incredible how hard they played football,
Well,
and
oh,
I
yeah.
really appreciated
Look
rugby
at all
that
the best
day.
wingers. They're all Fijians and stuff.
Yeah.
They're amazing athletes,
Yeah.
man. You know, so.
Go to a Fijian giant crowd, full of all of their families and that, you know, like
That'd be awesome.
It was
That was fucking
absolutely
cool.
awesome experience.
Yeah.
And that was a good day of rugby,
Yeah.
good game. It was more than
It's very ugly if it's not played well.
Yeah.
It can be really, really ugly.
Yeah.
But if it's played as well as it can be, it's the game they play in heaven, as they say. Anyway, that was a round ball thing, or the oval ball, which
Yeah,
we'll about. Let's get back to some nitty gritty
All right.
conspiracy.
Cool.
Well, it's
a dirty word, man.
Can we all do a conspiracy each? I'll try my first
Oh,
one.
fuck.
Okay, there was a book written in the 1970s called Illuminatus, and in the Illuminatus, it goes into this demon that rules the United States. And where they had to feed this demon. Every year, 20 or 30,000 people go missing in the United States. Start feeding this demon to stop it coming out and destroying the world. The only place they could actually contain this demon, they need to build this huge building with these special angles on it. Happened to be a Pentagon. So the demon is actually alive in the Pentagon. It's being fed blood. What happened in September 11th is you look at the whole Twin Towers and all that stuff. That was all a distraction. The actual real aim was the Pentagon. They sent a missile. There was no plane carriage or anything. There was a fucking missile. The hole was like that.
Have
big.
you seen that video?
Yes, yeah. Like,
Yeah, I've never seen that.
So they
I've
blew
only
the
seen-
missile.
It's all out there now. You can
and they
just
needed
look
to
up,
do
like-
that to knock the wall down and let the demon out. And what happened when the demon got out? 2 million Iraqis dead. How many are dead since 2001? Yeah, it's probably 5 million really just
Yeah.
from bullets alone.
Yeah.
And so that's that demon that got released from the Pentagon. That's a conspiracy.
Who was
I just
the
made it
demon?
up.
Wow.
Donald Trump.
No, yeah, it's one big demon. It doesn't need one person. It's not just a demon. The demon's the idea.
That was where they found the bloke's passport out on the grass outside
Yeah.
the Pentagon and identified everything about, because the whole plane's evaporated.
Yeah, it just evaporated the
Yeah.
Pentagon.
Yeah,
plane.
see, I
But-
didn't see much of the Pentagon one.
Yeah.
But they found old mate's passport.
Who's old mate's passport?
One of the
one of
hijackers.
so
One of the
everything's
hijackers.
disintegrated,
There's
but
nothing
this
else to be
fucking
found.
He's
passport.
thrown it on the
And
way
then-
down.
That was,
Remember me?
do you know, too, where the Pentagon got hit
Yeah.
was exactly the rooms and offices and this and that, where they had all the receipts and this and that for the missing.
Yeah, for the missing trillions.
2 point
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
trillion they announced the day before.
Yeah, that was the day before, wasn't it? Yeah.
There was a
So
lot
they've
of
got all
coincidences
they've got all
there.
they got all their fucking best people, the ones that are going to fucking tell on you, you know, all the real fucking straight ones
Yeah.
at work, chosen to be you're the best at what you do. You're coming in here on this special fucking job, and they got them all into one room, and that's where the fucking plane hit that day. And all the people that died at the Pentagon that day was anyone who was going to tell on what happened next.
Yes.
You know,
I think they spotted a good
they just
opportunity.
fucking
Yeah,
evaporated that money. That money's just like, oh well, we lost all those receipts by the looks of things.
But no, they don't
Let's
even
move
bother
on.
with that. They just pump the shit up.
No.
Print some more.
Have you seen there's a website called Demonocracy? I think it's called.
That's another fucking good band name.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I think it's called. Anyway, they've got all these visual things because, like, I don't know, I like looking at pictures and get, you know, like it just seems to get information that I remember. I remember the picture and then I can talk about it later. So they've got like video of the $20 billion a day that is being like blown on, like, you know, the war in Afghanistan or whatever it was, and they're just like it's visualized on like, say, all pallets, and all these bulldozers just pushing it into a hole, and there's all these incredible visuals of all different things to do with money and banks and things that it just blows you out when you see how many football
scale
fields worth
of
of
it.
money and
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
How much is $1 trillion if it's
'cause-
all stacked on pallets?
Yeah.
And it's just incredible.
To actually see it, yeah.
Yeah, the derivatives market is, or, you know, how big is all the gold in the world, or how much money has been spent on
The Afghan war.
the 2020, like the whole COVID sort of
yeah.
relief,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
all that kind of, yeah, they show like these
The scale of that
visuals.
kind
Yeah.
of stuff, yeah.
It's all incredible. So I highly recommend that if you're still watching.
Check it out.
Yeah, if you're still
You're still watching.
if you're still awake after this, you,
Well, that was my conspiracy. Was that yours? No, that's a real thing, though.
That was the real, yeah.
Yeah. So, what's yours?
I got nothing, eh?
You must have one. Even one at school.
Nah, not that I could think of. Like, I've just got pieces of ones, like
Okay.
Elvis is still alive.
Well, that's a good conspiracy. And I think it's something we need to believe in anyway. This whole what is truth? Everyone's got their own truth. And if I want to believe that Elvis is alive, who am I fucking hurting? Elvis is there.
even really, like, who wants to be famous? After you've been,
that'd be
like,
crazy.
say you want to be famous, and once you go and be famous, you
hate it.
fucking have that
That's
back.
so
I'm
It'll
gonna,
be shit.
then you go and get older 2-packs.
Yeah.
Like manager or
Hideaway.
someone help me set this up. What do I do here?
Yeah.
Turn me into a hologram,
Like-
mate. I need to disappear.
Yeah.
That's where
Fuck
slip.
those holograms. They're crazy, eh?
Yeah, man.
They're crazy. Have you seen like in the basketball stadiums and that, like the whale that comes and jumps up out of the ground and
No.
Is that a real thing?
And then-
I thought it was.
And then there was one at I think it was like a Korean game of baseball or something, and so it was in an open air baseball
North Korea?
stadium, and they had his dragon flying around that everyone could see at the thing.
That's fucking.
And the dragon
wild.
flew around and came and landed. It's like, once again, it's all on YouTube.
That'll help YouTube along. Just a little plug.
Yeah.
In case you haven't heard of them. YouTube.
I use YouTube all the time for stuff. Like when I'm driving, like I don't listen to the radio or whatever. I've got lined up some
Podcasts.
I listen to all these.
docos,
So can't really look.
It's weird how
but
YouTube.
I can listen.
It's like of all the words, everything was like iPhone, me, this, And YouTube went the other way. It was you,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah,
probably
true,
the only
true.
big company that's done that.
Never thought about that.
Put something on the other. So what does that say about? It's about you. They want to watch you.
Yeah.
So everyone, when you put yourself on YouTube, it's because someone is watching you.
It's the same as I.
Creepy. It's like there's
Similar to,
cameras
like-
in here.
There is. Where are we?
We're being watched by a few hundred people right now.
Hey fellas.
Creepy.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yes.
Well,
Something's
it's
coming.
here now.
Yeah.
I mean, they can watch you through any camera now.
That's
Your
it.
phones,
Yeah.
the security stuff's all bullshit. Turn all the voice
Yeah.
listening. Everything's still listening. All
Yeah.
the algorithms still pop up the same shit.
I've got a good idea for Smack Panda. It's called a Faraday cage, but it's like it's a sleeve you put your phone in, and it's all got copper wire through it. A Faraday cage, nothing can get in or out. So you put it in your pocket, and you don't have to. No one can trace you or anything until you pull it out, and then you get your messages and stuff.
Because of this, the
And then they know you're there.
Yes, 'cause the
you
copper
pop up
stops
here
it.
and pop up there.
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
But I reckon, you could probably get
That's
them made
not
for
so
quite
bad.
cheap.
See, there's this contact tracing and bullshit
Yeah.
and all of that. Like, this QR code and they're, with fear, they have made a way of encouraging people to embrace something that they would not ordinarily have done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, in the future financial system of what's shortly coming, and when you go to the supermarket and you scan this can of beans and put it in the thing, you just paid for it as you went. It's like you're just going to scan that, and there's going to be no one at the cash register.
Pull that up a bit, Kenyagi.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're just going to QR code everything in your life. When you walk into a restaurant, you're going to QR code to say, I was here. And on that same thing, it's going to come up with the menu, and you're going to go through everything, and you're going to choose what you want, like you're on Uber Eats or whatever, and then you're going to pay for it right there and then, and it's going to go, and someone's going to bring it out from the kitchen to you, like that. The new way that we're going to use money with our phone is going to be that, and people weren't ready to give up cash. We had to make cash dirty. We had to make cash scary. We had to make cash like nefarious. Like only criminals use $100 notes. Like, what do you need $100 notes for? And Australia's been talking since like 2018 about getting rid of hundreds and even 50s because criminals use them, and we don't need them as normal people.
Fuck off.
Because they're telling us, it's kind of like, the fucking famous Robertson Pie Shop. Like, you put famous in your name, and then, everyone, it's shit. Like, it's like if you did
Robertson Pie Shop.
if you did a shit like that, you'd go straight to the doctor. You know what I mean?
It's not good.
And they call themselves famous. The famous donut thing down at Berry.
Yeah, why is that famous?
You're just preying on dickhead tourists. It's famous.
At least
It's
their
so
donuts are alright.
stupid.
But they get a queue outside that
Man,
place.
yeah.
It's
just
wild.
nuts.
Must be worth
I
it.
got one the other day. There was no queue, and Arlo had never had a donut, and it's just a donut.
Yeah, it is just a hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
cinnamon
bad,
donut.
but
yeah.
It's just
marketing's
advertising.
incredible, isn't it?
It's not worth the drive, to be honest.
What?
There's a good
the
pie
pie
shop
shop. Yeah.
Which
Southern
one?
Rise,
The-
further
I
in
like
Robertson.
the milk.
The bakery one?
Yeah,
The Southern Rise in the middle of Robertson.
Oh,
That's
no,
where
I'm
you
thinking
go.
of-
Oh no, we're thinking Berry.
Here, I'm plugging everyone.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I think the beef bourguignon from Berry is the best pie I've had in Australia.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's fucking good, man. I've
The
had a lot
upper
of
crust. I rate the satay, I'm not sure what, satay something at the upper crust at Coleroy. Pull your dick off. It's so good.
pies. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fucking great. I've got to try one of those pies.
Yeah.
You'll pull your dick off.
Well, hopefully not.
That's right. You go
I'll
up
just get
there,
another pie.
Put it in there, you'll burn it.
you go up there on a busy day, there's dicks all over the ground. They are so good.
So what do you reckon will happen in the future then, Eggy? Like getting rid of cash?
I'm buying my own crypto, I reckon. I would think it looks like it's a good thing.
wicket?
It's where things are headed,
Yeah,
if you go and
I
look
think-
up, if you go and just look up like keyword searches of like, Australia, RBA, blockchain, different things. Look at like how these words come together in paragraphs and stuff, and these documents come up and websites come up and that just show you that all this stuff is being adopted and rolled out. And for example, here in Australia, they've got all of the crypto tax laws and that completely worked out. They're fully nutted out first. The government's still not sure about this. It's very speculative. They've got all their tax rules ready so that, like,
When it does.
America now, they're also sort of the same with the government there, but right there in the top of page one, they've got a straight up crypto question now, digital questions immediately.
Yeah. It's on the ABC, they did a share market and then they did a Bitcoin.
Yes.
That just only started the last few weeks because
And
they used to
that's-
laugh at Bitcoin and now they're actually...
Yes,
right.
It's ridiculous. They've been activated to start telling people about this great big shiny
because they want people to get
object,
used to it. Yeah.
and they want you to go and pull 50 grand out of the bank and go and try and fucking buy a Bitcoin.
Fucking do it, man.
Buy low.
Fucking buy Bitcoin. That's fucking awesome.
Absolutely ridiculous. How,
Oh, man.
like,
I made
that-
10
it's-
grand on...
Yeah, and it's all on paper. It's all in your head.
There is no paper. Oh, no,
People.
People.
Who's pulled?
Someone's pulled.
Hello.
Uh-oh. I don't know. That was me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still here?
Nah.
It's all on paper. It's all in your head. All right. So
Hang on, Eggy. We'll fix this audio.
That's really... Yeah, something strange. What happened here, man?
I think we've been shut down.
The
That's
feds.
about, yeah.
I'm going to just spot like 3, 2, 1 or something like that. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, coffee.
Because I need that.
Yeah.
It helps.
I like
with the
having
edit.
claps, man.
Yeah,
I
the
play
edit's
gigs
so
and no
much
one
easier.
claps and it just sucks.
It just sucks.
Yeah.
Thank you. There's a cricket button.
You were great.
Yeah, that ain't fucking it. We'll find it one day.
Then we'll find a button.
We tried
that works.
week.
Well, we left off of Bitcoin, and
Yeah.
as
Oh,
viewers
it's
of the show here, people
Yes.
would know we're
Bitcoin maximalist.
Bitcoin. What
Matt
would you say?
is
Pushes,
balls deep
yeah.
in the Bitcoin.
He's
You
balls
guys-
deep.
oh, yeah, okay. I didn't know.
If you
Like,
guys had listened to me when we first started,
Yeah.
you could have bought one at 20 grand, you'd have
man.
40 grand.
Yeah, I haven't got money to chuck at things.
Not that it's about that. Like you start with Bitcoin, you join for you join for the money and you think you're going to make money on it. When you stay for the revolution, you actually understand what Bitcoin is. It's a return to the gold standard without the gold.
Yeah, I think you're the only
it's
one
fucking-
doing that, Matt. Because everyone I talk to is like, fuck, I'm rich, I'm retiring
Maybe they
next
just
year.
got into it or something, because when you actually look into it, it is Robin Hood shit. You know, it's just amazing.
We went over Robin Hood last week.
Yeah. Oh no, just a different Robin Hood who's going to steal from the
Rich.
Well,
Yeah.
they've stolen everything anyway, man. Every time they print
Yeah.
a dollar, it's a dollar
Yeah.
out of everyone else's pocket.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, now they're printing trillions and trillions, and the only way to stop them doing it is to go back to gold standard. But gold's fucked. Who can actually use gold? Whereas a Bitcoin, and the gold has to be centrally, it's got to be held in someone else's bank. A Bitcoin it's in my pocket. It's wherever I want to keep it. There's no intermediary.
See, the people in Nigeria right now, Nigerian government's cracked down on people and said, no, we're not going to let people have crypto here or this.
They can't stop it, yeah.
But they can't stop the peer-to-peer or whatever it's
No,
called.
they can't. The protocol's everywhere in the world. And so what it's going to do, it's going to take the money printing away from all governments in the world. They won't just be able to print their money. Yeah, which means if they want to start a war, they're going to have the money in the bank. And they don't. So that's the end of the warfare. You know,
very
like,
good thing.
yeah, it is. Like when you actually look into it all comes down to the money. That's what I've discovered after all my, studies and all that. Who makes the money? Who's got control of it? Yes. And it's the fucking banks. But mainly it's the US Federal Reserve they just print the money. And so Bitcoin was designed as a killer of the Federal Reserve. It's an assassin. Oh yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
And what do you think, Iggy? You don't like the Bitcoin?
No, it's not that I don't like it. It's just that.
Don't throw accusations
Yeah,
out, Willie.
what's
I'm not saying that.
Let him speak
Put
for
him in a
himself.
corner.
He's put him in the headline.
It was
I'm not being mean.
like the white paper, kind of like the design that was going to destroy governments, destroy banks.
Yep.
It was going to
Yeah, the Satoshi.
be the way that everyone spends amongst each other. It's like right now what's it called, the meta. So they've got a backed up like 250,000 Bitcoin transactions right now that are completely taken a dog's ass worth amount of time worth to go through, and they're expensive, and so it's all backed up.
Is it
You know,
really? I
if you
haven't heard
paid
of
for
that.
if you pay for something with Bitcoin, you pay for a coffee with Bitcoin, it'd be cold by the time you got to drink it, kind of.
Yeah, that was the problem
The
a few
thing
years
is
ago.
that
but
now it's transferred over from being the bank killer to being like, yes, banks are buying Bitcoin and look at the price go up.
that is it's an issue because I'll be just trading one system for another. But I think the system we're going to trade into, the wealthy are still, if they've got any brains, they're going to have the Bitcoin. But they can't print the Bitcoin. They only have to be 21 million. So it's going to bring them back to a gold standard. And when that happens, eventually interest will have to hit and their money will have to start actually coming down to the working people.
Yes.
So even though it's got its problems,
So Bitcoin
as everything does,
they now it's being touted as a wonderful store of value, which back in the white paper, store of value was never an intention of the design of Bitcoin, and so it's now not.
Yeah, but that
it's
would
now best features are not what it was ever designed.
It's
to
an
be.
evolving thing. Yeah, absolutely.
And what it was designed to be is now completely not usable at all. And so the thing is, Bitcoin's kind of like your superannuation. I mean, you've got to be sentimental with it, and you've got to hold on to it and hope that it's worth a lot because everyone else is into it and it's pumping.
You
at the
think
time
it's a
when you
bit of
want
a
it to
pyramid
come
scheme?
out. No, not a pyramid scheme. It's just that.
Oh, well, I think some people are in it for a
can't-
pyramid scheme, but they'll be weeded out.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely got wonderful points that, for example, in the past, the media always talked about it was used by criminals and used by drug dealers and all this and that. And now they're saying, oh, the blockchain, this immutable technology, definitely if there's a criminal that uses this, we'll be able to trace them.
Yeah.
They've totally about faced on it's scaring people
criminals
away
use
from
the US dollar. You know, that's
Yeah.
that's where all the cocaine money is. It's in the US dollar. So
Yes.
they always do that with any new technology. They said that about the internet. Remember when it first came out in the 90s? It was like fucking drug dealers and prostitutes. It was drug dealers and prostitutes, but fuck, look where they got us. They're amazing, those.
See the Christine Lagarde, she's a boss of the European Central Bank, and she recently slammed Bitcoin in a couple of comments about crypto in general, about I think it was mostly Bitcoin,
Because it's going to take a
can
job.
be used by criminals and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And it was like, totally disgusting behaviour. And like the way she described it was very,
Yeah.
she was
Which is
terribly
rich.
disgusted.
Yeah.
And you go and look into Christine Lagarde and money laundering, and you see that a few years back, she actually got in big trouble doing what she was doing for exactly what she now finds terribly disgusting.
Yeah,
It's
she was with
like
the World Bank, I think, originally, and
The-
now she's with the European Central Bank. Anyway, she's an idiot, and she's scared of Bitcoin.
Which
Yeah.
is
Because you don't need these people anymore. They don't have a job.
Yeah.
I don't need bank.
Well,
You know,
do we even need? That's what was it Hancock brought up there. His hate for like government. He said we don't really need them anymore. He's like maybe at an like for really large scale things we might need them a little bit, but they don't need to be interfering in our lives anymore. Like we're all grown adults. We're all open. There's enough information and resource, and we know how to do everything, and we can gain access to everything now. Why can't we make our own
I think that's
decisions around?
That's fair enough. But the problem being, if you get rid of the government, corporations have filled the gap, and they are fascist dictators. You know, like it's the right. He's absolutely right. You know, we should be adults, and adults should do whatever the hell they want, as long as they're not messing with anyone else.
You know what's a blowout is like royal families, you know?
Yeah, what the-
Like, look at the English royal family history back through it. Like, how did that all start? Is it just like...
I thought this
Is it
the other
like
day,
my
actually.
dad's as tough as fuck, and he just punched a piss out of everyone else around, and they're like, oh, don't hit me, I'll whatever you want. And they're like, well, you'll go and fucking clock him over there for me. Next thing you know,
You got a kingdom.
people are just bringing it to you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
And somewhere along the way, sorry about that.
That's right.
No, that's all right. Still going.
Like, where does this
where
shit
does it
start where your
originate?
family's fucking over the top of everyone else's?
It would have been
Yeah.
the alpha. It would have had to be like the alpha male of the time.
Yeah.
maybe.
Well,
Most dominant.
Dude with the
after a
biggest
while
dick.
it wasn't.
Is that where it all started?
the
Is that
biggest
where it all started? The
dong.
biggest bloke in the showers after work, and they're all just like, oh yeah, you're the king.
Well, you look at all the like the sculptures of the times, and none of them had big weapons. They were all.
Oh, I haven't
they
noticed.
thought.
No, that's
Have you
the
noticed?
barbarians, wasn't
Oh,
it?
Yeah, they thought big dicks were for barbarians. So they liked
Savages.
small
Probably
penises.
fair enough. I don't know.
Well, if you haven't got one, what would you want?
That's right. Well, of course you'd say
Stop
that.
the giant hog
No,
on there.
No. See, that just means whoever was deciding what was fashionable at the time had a small cock.
Yeah.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It comes down to it.
yeah.
And that's
How
what,
could that
Let's
be
keep it
fashion?
comparative, guys.
Yeah, that's right.
sorry.
That's so good.
Yeah, but
We'll
from
talk
Where
about
else
big
are we
families.
going?
royal families
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right.
Well, that's
where
exactly
where
how they did
they-
it. Yeah.
Where do they...
gain.
But they could only do that once
This
we had
beginning of
agriculture.
power.
Yeah.
It's...
Yeah, it's crazy that they kept it going. Is what blows me out. Like,
Yeah, well, that's a demon, isn't it? It's something that survives throughout the centuries.
virus,
And
isn't it?
Yeah, in people's minds, well, it's a mean demon. That's you know.
you
that's
liking
what-
the demons?
Yeah,
tonight?
man, I'm loving him.
Fucking hell.
That's. I hope we didn't lose my my little speech about the Pentagon. I thought it was great. I might even write a sci-fi book about that.
I think you should write a song about it too.
Yeah. Demon.
Yeah, you should.
hole in the wall.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's going to be a number one hit.
Yeah.
Might even put it on here next week.
So what do you think of the? Oh, there it is. Fuck. The moon landing. That was another topic you
fake.
wanted.
That was faked.
You think it was faked?
Yeah.
What do you think?
What else?
I don't know. You're sitting there.
That was fake.
I used to think
I
it
don't
was
think
until
it
I
was.
realised that the Russians would have been all over that.
Yeah.
The Chinese, they were watching, you know, like if they could prove that the Yanks faked it, fuck, they would have won the Cold War, you know. It was there's lots of fake photographs, but I think maybe they just bullshitted them in to make it look better because they didn't get good photographs. Because I think, like, I saw a thing of a Russian general and he said he watched it in a telescope. He saw them fucking on the face of the moon.
See, then,
Yeah.
wouldn't that be just once that they would have landed somewhere or put something that people could just zoom in on with their telescope and
fair.
be like, there you go.
There's
shut
holes all the way
fuck
through
up
it.
because
Yeah.
there you go. Look, we put that thing there that time. But
Yeah.
there's-
Yeah,
the
yeah,
way
for
that,
sure.
like, you look at I don't know, whatever, real good cameras these days, people would be able to set up a camera on a telescope and zoom in and watch the bloody moon landing happen if they were to
they'll be
land
able to
one
see
there
the
today.
flag if the flag was there.
Right.
Oh, there are holes through it. Shitloads.
So it's
The
just
only
stuff
thing I've
like
got-
that. It's just
yeah.
like, just prove it.
And they couldn't even fucking
Just
get
prove
anything
it.
out
See,
of
this whole
space, you know?
Christian fucking Australian upbringing where you, don't ask no one to prove nothing. Have faith. Have faith and just believe what you're told.
No, yeah.
You know?
That's the whole Western. I think.
Yeah.
West, I think it's all humans actually. Even in the East, they're not any better than that.
No.
Like that's the leadership. Always just try and fucking keep control.
Petty
But-
servants.
Yeah. They're pretty good.
waiting,
I was
we're
trying to
looking.
get one of those, but fucking you can't find it anymore.
So, they're made, so you can hire out.
That's what I mean. No one when they sleep.
Willie's had a few grand in nice little outfits and stuff, haven't you?
He was wearing the outfit.
Yeah, it was me.
His cleaning was shit.
Yeah.
You missed a spot.
I leave marks in things on when I put them on the clothesline, so I'm not allowed to hang nothing out.
Yeah.
You do.
Somehow the way I do it's no good, so...
You don't have to do
Well,
it.
I have
I've
to
nailed that one
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
I know I bought a dryer, so it's heaps easier. I'm so lazy. I just pop everything straight in
Oh,
there.
for the
now.
kids' clothes, who's going to hang out tiny little socks?
No,
Oh, fuck
that's
that. They're
terrible.
going in the dryer, man.
Yeah.
Dryer all the rubbish. Go to Kmart. Environmentally friendly.
Yeah, because you can get that home delivered too these days, and so you just keep ordering
Like
kids'
Kmart.
socks all the time.
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah.
You know,
you
you know
probably
what I mean?
could. Yeah.
That's what a lot of wives are doing through COVID, I think.
Oh, they must be getting fat.
Just fucking
Dun, dun,
online
dun.
buying shit.
Well, that's very gender specific.
Yeah, that was-
That's a bit. I've
Quite
got
a generalisation.
That's
Yeah, you got it.
is that hate speech? Right?
Yeah,
I thought we were joking. I jumped in on it. I don't really think
Did you? Yeah. I'm offended.
There's a contingency.
Hey, you got a good one.
That was a poor attempt at a joke.
That was all right.
That was all right.
You guys are fucking up your own asses. I don't know what's going on.
Got woke, baby.
Yeah,
Woke up.
yeah. Once the cameras come on, they're woke.
It's politics, mate. Politics.
What's your view on the virus, Iggy?
There we go.
Coronavirus. This is
You're going to have to get this one right.
now. What? Just bear with us.
Oh,
guys.
he's
We
got
might-
the shit arm. That's why.
We might get censored here, but
I don't
There we go.
I don't doubt that there's a virus around out there. Like I think there's something like 22 coronaviruses known. They've been around longer than humans have been on Earth, you know? And there's 7 of them that infect humans. And there's like 4 are the common cold, and there's a pneumonia, and there's a couple that are the flu, and, you know? And now they're telling us there's this new one that's this one. And somehow been in animals mutated and come to us, and so you know they now, for example, the Australian Bureau of Statistics counts COVID, pneumonia, and influenza all on the one line of when they put the list of deaths. You know, like so they're all just grouped in together now. So as far as our records go, if we go and look up how many COVID deaths there were in 2023, in 2030, when we look back, they're all just going to be on the one line, and you can't distinguish between them. If you look on the Australian Bureau, you know, stuff like that. It's just a load of
That's
shit.
really
you
weird,
know?
isn't it? Yeah.
If there was a real pandemic, you wouldn't see these testing centres shutting at 8 o'clock at night and turning around a whole fucking line of people who are
That's pretty
scared enough to
weird, isn't
stand there
it?
in the
Yeah.
rain outside Wollongong Hospital. I live in just over here in Fig Tree, and the line from the Fig Tree testing went all the way up the hill past the fucking hospital that had the line going of people standing, you know, line past line to get tested. That's how many scared people there were,
Yeah.
or people being forced by their employer or whatever
Yeah.
it might be to go and get a test. But when it gets to like 8 o'clock at night, sorry everyone, come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're finished.
We gotta go
In
home.
a pandemic, you're seeing doctors crawling out of the hospital. They've done a 20-hour shift. There's people dying everywhere, and we are fucking motivated to
Yeah.
do something about this.
Yeah. We're not actually.
But not past 8
We're not
o'clock.
seeing none of this because the testing's going to come back in the morning. You know, like it just, things like that make you totally doubt that there's,
the
it's
seriousness
just the
of
common
it.
Yeah.
flu.
Yeah.
It's the flu like we've
I
always
totally
got.
agree.
Yeah,
You know, like,
I think there's something going on, but it's like if you're like any virus, if you're healthy, you take care of yourself. Your body's built to beat shit, man.
Yes.
And it's like I think a lot of the flow off effects from shutting everything down, and you know taking people's livelihoods and stuff away is worse. And will probably suffer worse, like mental health issues.
Vastly.
If people are poor, like,
Yeah.
you know, in the States and stuff, they don't have the backup that we do from the
No,
government.
Look at
so-
like the homeless population in Los Angeles
it's
now. It's
gone
just
massive.
exploding. It's
Yeah,
like
tent
up
city,
towards
yeah.
100,000 people.
Crazy.
Apparently, it's just,
like, how are they going to come back from that
what
shit?
the hell's going on? This is the land of the free and the blah blah blah, and they've got this fucking stupid song that keeps convincing them to listen to some shit and not look at what is actually going on
Happening,
around
yeah.
them.
Yeah.
You know?
It's incredible, isn't it, eh? The
It's
control
just-
of the public mind.
Yeah, and it's
Consciousness. We all need to be woke. On
The
some mushrooms.
monetary system
Yeah.
died, and right as it was due to be kind of like exposed as dead, the coronavirus. Who was that?
That was me. I was like a check.
Sounded like it felt good.
This guy better shut the fuck up.
Shut
It
up.
was Ike's lizard people.
Oh yeah.
I'm one of them.
That's going to be on a conspiracy page everywhere.
I just blew us up, boys.
People are going to be fully slowing that down. You know, they're just,
What
If you
did he
freeze
say?
it all,
play, right here. Here he is. Look at his tooth. You know. Fuckwits. You know, like the whole monetary system, like the reserve banking and the whole fractional reserve banking system died from just imploding on itself in 2008. And it's been limped right through with just printing of money and the propping up of the stock markets ever since. And that all came to an end right around the time that coronavirus just fucking swept in and crushed everything. So now we blame the virus for
It was perfect
all
timing.
of the
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
all of the
Collapse of
collapse of
everything,
everything,
yeah.
and then also now the
Implement
people
the
saying
new
print,
system.
let it go off, and do what you need to do to save me. And like, look at Americans now, like they're just begging the poor people for the stimulus check. $600 or whatever, they're thousands of
pretty
dollars in
broke
debt.
over
They've
there,
got
man.
so much
Yeah,
backed
yeah.
up in rent and bills and all this horrific stress. And yeah, sure, like I'll take it because like it's due to me and it's mine. It's not like I'll have it, but it's just a drop in the bucket of
The shit
what's
to
going to
do
help
with-
for
yeah,
them and
yeah.
that. And
Yeah.
And that anger, that's
And
what
it's-
brought
it's-
Trump in,
it's
and it's going to bring
robbing-
someone else worse.
it's robbing the future generations who still have to grow up and begin to pay for that. You know,
Yeah.
it's just horrific.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Of-
absolutely.
of-
It's horrific what we've done to the
And
next
but
generations.
we'll be angry at the virus for having ruined the economy, and we will build back better. Like
suppose
everyone
do you
chants
think it
around
was
the world
just,
now. Look how many times people say that, build back better. It is
Yeah,
the
yeah.
slogan of all politicians who are in right now.
Do you think they were just hoping for a pandemic and then they would sneak it in, or do you think they actually started the pandemic and snuck it in? And snuck these things up under the table.
I think they hoped for it and they just went, fuck yeah, let's get on this.
This is
Yeah.
going to work.
It's go time.
Spread it.
Ready
That's what I think of
Get on
September
the plane.
11th as well.
Ready to
Yeah.
implement things.
Yeah.
But you look at like the PNAC, the project for the New American Century. That was a Donald Rumsfeld and a couple of these other people. And so he gave this keynote speech at one of their things where he talked about America needs to have a new Pearl Harbor style event
Yeah.
to galvanize their country's spirit and move forward with the new American century.
Crazy fuckers.
Okay.
man.
So that was in 2001 in the February, and not long later they have another Pearl Harbor style event.
Yeah, yeah.
China's 60 years into a great marathon, their 100-year marathon. these big countries around the world have these 100-year plans that they've got in the background in place, and they're all about, you know, being what America's been. And so it's all about just crushing the everyday person, isn't it? And keeping everyone down. Just where's this money accumulating to? Like, where's it all actually going? Everyone's paying interest. Everyone's around the world paying interest and shit all the time. Fees.
Yeah.
Fees are fucking eating us up, aren't they?
Whoa, yeah. I wonder if Australia's got a 20-year plan.
We've probably got a 20-day plan.
Yeah, I know.
100-year plan.
Should be right.
No, but like,
I don't think they do.
Exactly.
but like, look at how Australia has, you know, like 9/11 happened. Everyone was pretty fucking shocked,
Yeah.
and then the Bali bombing happens.
Yeah.
And suddenly Australia and Australian people are just cool with get over there and fucking shoot some brown people. Do some fucking damage and blow up some shit.
Australians weren't, man. I was on a march with 1 million people when we were against the Iraq War. Like,
Yeah, I
fucking
know.
shitloads of us.
But
Our governments
what
went into
happened?
it.
They went. Do you know?
There was nothing that people could do.
That's right.
They were going to send them anyway, you know.
And that's right.
Yeah.
And so all that's happened is invasion. And like you look on, like, say, the 4th of July or something, and you go on Twitter or something, and there's photos of like American soldiers with their Hummers and that, and they've got like American flags, and they're sitting in the middle of oil fields in fucking Syria or somewhere.
Yeah,
it's just like, you fucking grubs, get out of their country.
Yeah.
You're protecting their oil field with your
It's the way the
flag.
Yanks have set up
Their war flag. You know,
Yeah,
there's two
yeah.
flags. You know, there's two American flags.
No, really.
What's the
Have a
war
look
one?
at have a look at the American civil flag of peace. It's white with red stripes and a little, like, it's the complete mirror image opposite.
yeah.
And that's the flag that is meant to be. That's the proper American flag, and it's
Oh,
only
wow,
flown
really?
during times of peace.
Did
I've
you
never
see
been
the?
up there.
It's flown 6 years out of like 238 or whatever they've
Yeah.
been around. The rest of the time, this is their war flag that they've all got around their
It's
shoulders
the
and
commander
stuff.
in chief and all that,
You know?
isn't it? They all think they're in a Hollywood
Yeah,
movie.
Yeah.
it's actually
Yeah.
not their
But-
real flag. It's
Yeah.
it's the flag that they fly when they're at war.
I think we
Well,
talked
they're all-
about it before. The Aussies that were over there flying swastika.
Yeah, there was a couple
right.
of battalions.
SAS, I think.
Yeah, they
Maybe.
got up to
I think it was commando.
some
Well, see,
nasty stuff,
now
but,
think
yeah.
about
Yeah.
it. What happens one day if, like, China decides that they don't want to buy our shit anymore?
It's getting close to that, isn't it?
That's what's been happening.
Yeah.
It's getting so bad. I heard they might even consider to stop buying our politicians. So,
Wow. I don't know. If to go there.
but like,
Which button
what
is it?
happens if they decide that they just want to stop buying it and come down and have it?
Yeah, they could do, but they've
and
never
what,
done
so
it in
what
their
happens
history.
if no,
Like they could.
but what imagine if a building blew up in China, so they decided to come down and fucking fly a Chinese flag on the Australian iron ore fields because
That's
an
right.
Aussie apparently blew up the bomb.
Yeah, I see what you're going with that.
What's the difference?
Where's the rule of law, man? There's supposed to be an international rule
What
of
we
law.
were cool with happening and going
yeah.
on and stuff, we would be dreadfully fucking upset
it'd be really
if it
hypocritical.
came and happened here to us.
yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Absolutely.
it's ridiculous how two-faced we would be one day when they come down here and make us all work in the coal mines of the Illawarra like absolute fucking ants.
Like we already
Fuck
do.
that. Only crazy people
You know?
do that job.
Big,
Well, it used to be for prisoners.
Still is.
Yeah. Get off that button.
Do you think that comes from us being like we're just so detached from like the realities of it?
Yes,
Maybe
absolutely.
And we're
we only know what's on the news.
Yeah,
Yeah.
plus we're so comfortable with like life's just really good, and like
It's pretty good.
even in our worst
Yeah.
situations here, you know, unless you're fucking homeless on the street or whatever, but you know, you can be on the dole, you can be in a house, you can still be getting a phone, you have
Yes.
the internet on, you got food.
We've
You know
never
what I
had
mean?
no helicopter with a machine gun flying
No,
anywhere in
yeah.
Australia, just hammering at
The
people.
fact that we're detached from
But
that
I
real
think-
struggle to live
Yeah.
makes us a little bit more
Weak.
like blind to weak, yeah, but blind to, we kind of detach from the reality of what's going on in the rest of the world. It's like their other world problems, not ours. So
Yeah.
And we're just
don't know
sort
that we
of
feel-
convenienced to death over here, aren't
Yeah.
we? Like
The
our
lucky
thing is,
country.
yeah. We're plugged into the
We're all looking
And
for
we
that
are.
lounge
utopia,
of the
but
TV, yeah, sort of.
But it has, I don't know, maybe we spoke about this last week on our
Rant.
not so positive episode.
No, it was
I
good.
actually quite
It wasn't
liked
too
it.
bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
actually, when I look back, I didn't think it was as bad.
Yeah.
But, anyway, so we're up at Westmead, and just the ability just to go to a hospital because your kids hurt themselves, have a team of like,
Oh, yeah.
a surgeon, a doctor, you got nurses, a physiotherapist, social workers, all just checking out for one person for free. And then on top of that, they'll also, if you're in like the lower socioeconomic bracket, you can apply for, well, I think anyone can actually. You can apply for travel if you've travelled further than 100. The government will pay you money to be able to go to the hospital.
It's
That's a
fucking
pretty
great.
fucking great country.
I'll tell you, man,
in a lot
it
of
is
ways.
great.
That's
Like,
fucking
that's-
1st of February. Fucking mate shit day. Fucking get rid of Australia Day.
Yeah.
1st of February. That's
Yeah.
the day Medicare came in.
Yeah.
Fucking let's start it.
But
'Cause that's what you
don't
said
let them
then is
take it off
exactly
us.
what
Is what
take what off her?
all these fucking good cover that you've got from the hospitals.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's why if you make it Medicare Day, they won't be able to touch the hospitals. Because if you look at
Oh,
England,
that's right. Yeah.
you know, look at England. They're fucking massacring the NHS over there, and they go past, and all the ambulances go past, and they clapped, and you've seen that shit. They clapped all the workers, all the healthcare workers in England, and they voted in a cunt that has slashed all their fucking wages and wants to privatise the whole lot. And he stands there fucking clapping at the doctors who's trying to fuck. You know,
yeah, right.
I never do that when I'm trying to fuck someone.
What, clapping them?
They don't like it. They think it's fucking weird.
Good job, sir.
So that's what I'm doing wrong.
Well, yeah.
Don't clap them.
Don't clap.
I'll remember that now.
They can wave. Just saying fucking clap. They freak out.
Then.
All right, Graham
Yeah,
Hancock. Let's go back to Graham Hancock.
Oh, actually, I heard something really interesting with Hancock today about in the Amazon how they reckon that was fully advanced, like
Yeah, isn't that
20
great?
million population cities or
The
tribes,
Amazon's
like-
actually a garden.
Yeah.
Like, the whole fucking
yeah,
lot is
they
a
made
huge
it. It's
garden.
man-made. Yeah, they. Excuse me. Go ahead.
And the closest DNA they found of the indigenous people is fucking Aboriginal DNA.
From here.
From
yeah,
here,
Australasian.
really.
Yeah,
Yeah, and fucking in the middle of the Amazon.
Don't they think
Yeah.
that our Aborigines come from India?
I reckon it might be the other way around. I personally
Across
think
the land
everything
bridge?
started in the South Pacific with like the Maori people, and then travelled
Sure.
elsewhere.
Aren't you,
So-
aren't you fucking English?
I'm, no, it's in the blood, bro. And I'm an Aussie, actually. I'm both of them. Anyway,
yeah, you are
like,
an Aussie now.
all the
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I know that when you think what Graham Hancock does, he makes really good arguments. And I've just finished his book. I think I might have said it. Was it Fingerprints of the Gods or his latest one?
Yeah.
And man, the best thing about him, I think, is that
America Before.
is it? Oh
That's
no,
the
the one
new one,
before
yeah.
then. Yeah,
Magician.
Is that he's prepared to take?
I've just
yeah, it was
bought that.
Magicians.
Yeah, right.
And it's he's prepared to take other, like he goes in for the argument. He's not trying to say I'm completely right all the time. And in his own books, he's got these other arguments against his own, and they're kind of not bad arguments, you know. So it shows that he just wants the truth,
Yeah.
you know, and
Yeah.
he thinks things are being bullshit. And when you go into he's fucking pretty good.
He's
Yeah,
open-minded
smart,
to collaborate with people on
absolutely.
ideas and be like, that really, you know. And
It's kind of
makes
like being
sense.
truly analytical. Like he'll.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're a
Like
Martian and you know nothing about human history, because we all learn our culture, we're all brainwashed
Yeah.
by our culture. This is
Yeah.
the culture
Yeah, yeah.
we learn, so we're brainwashed. We can't really see it from outside like an alien would, but that's where I think you need to try and see it from. And I think Graham Hancock's just trying to get to the bottom of it. And don't believe anything. Don't believe
Yeah.
Yeah.
anything until you see a thread of
Some
evidence. And
evidence,
then when you
yeah.
take the evidence, it
Where
goes
does
some
it take
fucking
you?
weird
Yeah.
places.
Yeah.
You know?
Just brainwashed by culture and that, you know, like
Yeah.
we look how much the Kokoda and everything is a giant part of Australia and Anzac
Yeah,
and this
yeah.
and that, and in Japan it's completely not even mentioned. Like
No,
there's
no.
nothing.
World War
of
II
the-
is not talked
of
about.
the and so what our culture tells us is so important in that, and should be equally important. Is not, you know.
Yeah.
Well, Japan, it's a real worry of
So-
Japan. I couldn't believe when fucking Abbott, remember when Japan decided to not be pacifist anymore, and they got a fucking, they used to be pacifist, and they got an aircraft carrier.
That's right.
And Abbott was applauding them. I'm like, hold up, they invaded us. You know, what the fuck? We were China's mate, and, you know, and they haven't even come to terms with what they did in World War II. What their culture did was fucking unbelievable, and they're not teaching us. So they can happen again. At least the Germans know about Hitler. You know, we know about bad shit, so hopefully we won't repeat anything like that again. Whereas the Japanese haven't learnt that because it's not fucking taught.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's a worry that now they're rearming and the Yanks want to fucking them to get into China and stuff. Especially us being in Asia.
Yeah.
It could easily fucking come down here, man, if it kicks
Easily.
off.
We should paddle to Tasmania. We'll be right.
No one wants to take
No,
that.
No, that's it.
No.
I reckon Tassie's blowing up at the moment because you can work from home. People are buying down there because it's cheaper.
Oh, it's
Well, it's
so
cheap.
cheap.
Yeah.
Well, it's
nice
going up
land
now.
and
It's
shit.
going up
Yeah,
fucking real
everywhere's
quick.
going up.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
nice place to live. But I was listening to Hancock yesterday, I think, and he was talking about the Spanish invading like the Aztecs and taking on the Mayans, and
Yeah.
he said that 490 men must have had some fucking big balls on them to get off the boat, and that Cortez sank all the boats, and he said to them like, "There's no retreat. Like, this
Wow,
is it.
yeah.
We have to conquer or die."
See, you know that Apocalypto movie?
Yeah.
Mel
Those
Gibson one.
boats right there at the end, isn't that? That's
Yeah,
them technically
that's Cortez rocking
turning
up, apparently. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good
So those
film,
boats
that
were
one,
about
eh?
to sink.
Yeah, yeah.
Set fire.
They had 16 horses, and none of the Aztecs. He said that the horses were extinct in the last ice age, so there was no horses. So these Aztecs and Mayans are seeing these fucking dudes on horseback, like fully armored, and just shitting bricks. They thought they were demigods.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they had a story about it, didn't they? Like a prophecy. That
Yeah,
someone
they
would come over the ocean.
recorded it, and
Yeah.
they were like, "Fuck me."
Because I've seen llamas before. I just thought about that. They had llamas. Llamas are pretty big.
Yeah, guinea
They
pigs.
Yeah,
would've known
they
what-
aren't horse.
They're not
like,
horses.
Have you seen
But they
those
would've
big
known
guinea
what a
pigs,
horse
though?
was.
Yeah, but have you seen how they fight off a horse? Like,
Llamas.
no. Spanish armies, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
that's
A llama gets
They were
very
smashing-
defensive around a horse.
They were smashing full armies with fucking fuck all men and a few horses.
yeah, the nasty fuckers. The stories, what they
Yeah.
did, man, they were just
Well,
knifing children in the street for a laugh.
Yeah, 14, I think it was 15, 19,
Who was
there was
that, the
30
Spanish?
million.
Yeah, Spanish. They were bad over
Yeah,
there.
in Mexico there was 30 million people estimated.
Yeah.
After 40 years of Spanish landing and fucking killing everyone,
Genghis Khan.
there was 1 million. They wiped out 29 million. That's what Graham Hancock
yeah.
was saying.
Oh,
It's
it's vicious,
fucking
man.
genocide.
It's not like civilization came to these places. They were civilized.
Yeah.
You know, they had their own form of civilization. The only reason
They're sacrificing a few people here and there, but
in England, they were hanging so many people hanging during quartering, and at the bottom, the ladies used to grab the first bit of blood from the body and drink it.
oh shit.
And this is in England,
That's
you know,
right.
so it's not
Oh.
up to them to go pointing fingers at who's more cultured
Yeah.
and stuff. You know, it's
Yeah, because they were technically doing it because we're like Christians or Catholics or
Well-
whatever, and you're not. So
Yeah, I think they discovered that the world is round, and because Europeans have been fighting each other, they always thought the world was infinite, and we'll just have this little piece. But when Magellan did the circumnavigation of the world, they realised, holy shit, we can have it all.
Yeah. Right.
And that's when the big game started 500 years ago, and that's the game that's still happening now. It all started, and it's not.
Yeah.
We always think about it as a country versus country. It's not. It's a company versus a company.
Yeah.
Like the East India Company was bigger than fucking the government of England.
Yeah.
When they took India. Like they put opium in China, it was a
Yeah.
company, and they used to get these silly English boys who thought they were fighting for Queen and Country, and they weren't. They were fighting for fucking East India Company, and now we fight for fucking Google, or like it's companies, or Halliburton. It's not. It's got nothing to do with an enemy. It's got to do with making money. It's just the way the economy is setting up. They could set it up another way where it was to help people and build hospitals, maybe houses. They fucking could use some houses over there, but that's what Eisenhower. When he finished in 1950, the president, he said, look, we've got a military-industrial complex building up in the United States. We need to get rid of it or control it. Yeah. And it does. So,
have you seen that War is a Racket by Smedley Butler? It's only a very small book. I recommend that highly. everyone, all 40 of you who watch this, if you're still awake,
You get more than that.
you know, that's War is a Racket by Smedley Butler. He's right at the end of World War One or thereabouts, is it? He retires. He did like 33 and a third years as the,
Can you get that up a bit, Eggy?
as a he finished up as the top dog in the US military, but the little book that he wrote on just the way money is wasted and companies, Halliburton's of the time. When you read it, you actually would think he's writing about it like in the last 10 years, or he's writing recently times, and he's writing like nearly 100 years ago.
Yeah.
That was the system they set up.
Yes.
That this is, and this is what we live in now, and this is constant war.
It's just
You know,
unbelievable.
they
It
need a new
coincides
enemy.
the war of central bank, the century of central banking, and the century of total war.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where I see Bitcoin as maybe the arrow that's going to change all that. It's
Yes.
one of the hopes. Are there
Yes.
other hopes? I think there's
XRP.
XRP.
Yes.
Take us through that one,
It's
Eggy.
XRP.
Yes,
Yeah, I don't know.
you don't know XRP?
No.
Oh, it's I don't. How do I get into explaining this? It's like it's not really designed for being made for buying coffee, and that is one of the ways it's been described. It's more for interbank settlements and financial institutions and things. And right now, for example, the Australian government, where they're telling us, cryptocurrency is a bit scary and this and that, and tentatively looking at rolling out an Aussie dollar coin or something, but we're going to do a whole lot of testing and looking into these things because it's risky. It always push out risk as the big thing, and the whole back end is going to roll out first. Absolutely no problem. Things right now that are cheap, and that because they're not being used, but they have the utility. When soon they are being used, then all of the money has been made. The governments are going to clear away the debts with negative interest rates. The English central bank warned the banks of England they've got 6 months to prepare for negative interest rates. So technically, if you've got money in the bank, it will cost you. If you've got $100,000 in the bank and it's minus 1% interest, it's going to cost you $1,000 a year to keep your money in the bank.
But then if they get a mortgage, they'll end up paying you because it's negative interest rates. So you loan 900 grand and you'll have to pay back 890. It's all fucking really weird.
It's totally out of control
It's never been done before in any
what-
economics. It's absolute bollocks.
With like say central bank money that where each country's like for Australia right now is not prepared to make anything risky for the retail person, the normal everyday cattle class. So the
viewers,
banks,
I think. You guys.
Our big
They're
four
leaving
banks,
now.
big five banks are all heavily involved in all of this stuff. Westpac was in the news today. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was a pretty big story for Westpac to do with all of this. They will all have it completely set up and up and running, and then they will offer to the Australian people what we think is a safe choice, at which time it will be like a universal basic income style. Everything's fucked everywhere, and people will just take what they're offered, and people will accept something for free. If they made an account for everyone in Australia and they put $1,200 in there, how many people are going to leave it sitting there and not go and get it? Most people are going to go and get that $1,200 out, and by doing that, they've got to obviously activate their account or whatever. And next thing you know, the only way they can spend their $1,200 is with their phone, paying by QR code, or the adoption will come because of the free lunch. And in China, they've been running in several different cities lotteries where you go in the lottery and you end up winning like 100 digital yuans or whatever it is, and you can go in the shops and spend it and buy a bottle of Coke or these foul smelling cigarettes, masks, gloves. And So people are in these different cities are going in a lottery and winning free money. When does the Chinese government give their people fucking anything for free? Ever.
Yeah,
You know?
They're way ahead of the curve. They know what's going on, don't they?
They offer this little lottery and people go and win some $100, which is about $30 or something Aussie kind of worth of value, I suppose you might say. I think. And so you go home and tell everyone that you just won this thing and they all want to get involved too. So there's this positivity behind, and it was so easy to use, and it was like they've already got the Alipay and they've already got the WeChat, that versions
you
of
can do everything with WeChat,
you know?
can't they? Yeah.
And so it's when they bring that out, they've already been testing here in Australia in Aboriginal communities in like Katherine and Northern Territory, like near Uluru and places. You know, the very most poorest people in Australia, the people most dependent on the government or on
Help. Yeah.
help. Yes. Because of the way that we've arseholed them into living the way that they have. We've really fucked these people over and we've kept them how they are. And we've offered them guns and germs and steel and fucking alcohol and just fucking kept them down.
Yeah.
And now here we are on the verge of the fourth industrial revolution, and we are using these people to test, giving them some cashless society that they can go into Coles and Woolies, for example, and there's all of these items that they just cannot buy. You can scan it, and you'll be like, get to the end of the bill and be like, oh, this card will pay for that, and you've got to pay for the rest yourself. Or, you know, like it's programmable money.
Yeah, and only certain places have it, so they can't use that anywhere. So they're stuck to go to fucking Coles who jack the prices up. You know, it's fucking bollocks.
So
like,
this programmable money, it can be programmable for what you want. It can also be programmable for time, kind of like your phone card or something. Remember back in the day when you had 30 days to use all your credit, and then it just fell off and you lost it and you had to go and buy more? Well, can you imagine if that's how universal basic income comes out, and once a fortnight you get paid and it'll only last for a month and then it just disappears.
I remember
so you've got to
years ago
spend it,
watching
but you can
movies on
only
this
spend
shit.
it on certain things.
There's no acquisition.
So that's
of
how
wealth,
that's
like,
how they're
capable.
going to make the economy take
making
off,
it.
because look, everyone's spending money. Look at the velocity, because right now the money velocity is less than 1. So money velocity is the best way of measuring an economy, what's actually truly going on. And you can have the Reserve Bank bullshit you this and that and blah, blah, blah. But if you want to have a look at how it works, money velocity should be up at, I can't remember right now, but it's absolutely horrible. And they're going to make money churn
Try
through
and
the
force it
economy
in
by making people spend it, because
or more
it'll
crap
disappear.
to ruin the environment and fuck the planet even more.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
whole system has to change. Like, it's just fucked, you know.
Yeah.
There's something, I was talking to a lady today, Russian lady, and I said, how was it in the USSR? And she goes, I fucking loved it. She goes, we had 3 months off a year. We could go to anywhere in the USSR for free. Like, we just went there. She had a job, we didn't earn that much money, but we didn't have to.
Yeah.
You know, and she goes, she was walking along when she was young, and her mum got a tap on the shoulder by some guy, and he was like the head of the fucking Moscow gym or something, and saw she was doing some flips and said, oh fuck, she's got talent, she's in. You know, there was no money. You got in, they had, not this. What the main problem I have with our system, it doesn't recognise that real value is humans and the potential in every single human.
Human
and
capital.
Human capital is where it's fucking at, man. The machines are coming. We need creative people. And if you take 1,000 kids, one of them is going to be a fucking genius. You know, Einstein got where he was because he was lucky. That's all it fucking was, man. You know, he was really smart. But I'm sure there's someone as smart as him in fucking Wollongong, at least, you know, to make products and things like that. So, you know, the idea of going to a drudgery in a fucking coal mine or some shit, you know, it's really not with these. The most important thing that's ever existed in the universe is between our fucking ears.
Yeah.
There's never been anything like it. And we spend it in a fucking coal mine, or it's just mental, you know. And hopefully, just these
even the
things
way
will,
we cut coal is old.
The way we've always done it.
Yeah, it's kind of like fucking evolve. Like, surely there's an easier way, and there would be, and it'll probably end up us not having a job. But
Being on the universal basic.
well, yeah, we could be on Matt's universal basic
I'm
income.
not, I think working. No, it doesn't necessarily have to be. I'm just more for And it's not free stuff because you always it's not Medicare's not free. We pay for it in our taxes.
Yeah,
there's no
that's true.
such thing. We pay it to ourselves.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so
when
it's not
when a
free.
child really
Yeah.
sadly drowns or something in a swimming pool, and it gets a reaction in the community like as it should, it's very sad and people start demanding that like the fucking government should give free swimming lessons to all the kids in order to fucking avoid this ever happening again. It's like no, but we don't pay. Technically, we're gonna print that money out of nowhere to provide those
The family.
subsidised swimming lessons for
Yeah.
all of the kids in New South Wales, for example.
Yeah.
Like people are pleading would be. In my hypothetical situation, pleading for, and so then
He really doesn't like other people's kids.
no, because it's like then the children are technically got to pay for their own swimming lessons because
Yeah.
we've made this bubble of money that needs to be paid for. Well, give the kids swimming lessons. The taxpayer will pay for it because the government is the taxpayer. You know what I mean? Like where do they get their money from? It's kind of like an escrow, really, because like they make it out of nowhere and use it as they please, and then they've got to fill that gap with where
It doesn't work.
it's-
Like
it's
there's so
like-
much money in the system and it's going nowhere. Like the velocity is all the way down, and so the system's breaking. You know,
Yes.
it really is going to crash soon. We're not being naysayers, but some bad juju's coming.
Yeah.
So and that's why Bitcoin's gone up to 60 grand and stuff because people just don't know where to put the money. The bank is not really the safe place we all think it is.
Yeah, it's actually Bitcoin
You know.
going up is like a
Well, it's a store of value.
it's demonstrating that fiat is dying.
Yeah.
is actually like the
Bitcoin's
as you see
sucking all
Bitcoin
the-
go up.
Yeah, that's right.
You're
Fiat goes
actually
down.
seeing the purchasing power of the dollar against the Bitcoin.
Yeah.
just go.
Absolutely
and
right.
so what
yeah.
It's kind of like gold and silver as commodities. Let's just say gold on its own. Gold is a lump of gold, and it's just worth gold. You can check the price every 5 minutes, and it's changing it. You know,
Yeah.
oh, gold's up today, and this and that. When the price of gold goes up, it's actually the purchasing power of your money is dying. It's getting worse. It takes more of it to get that gold.
Yeah.
Gold is still just the same lump of gold, and I can swap you this piece of gold for that piece of gold because they're just gold. But like when the price of something goes up, it's because the value of what you've got is going down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So prices of everything's going up, and what we're getting paid is stagnant. And
So
they
how
said the other day,
yeah,
it'll be years and years, it'll be mid to late decade before Australians can start expecting pay rises in their jobs.
Yeah, it's already been 15 years, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the price of houses just keeps skyrocketing.
Yeah.
Your shed isn't worth $1 million.
No.
I'm telling you now.
But $1 million's not worth $1 million, mate.
No, it's
You know, so it's not like
it.
being a millionaire. Like, you know,
Yeah.
fuck, so what?
Yeah.
You know,
So you can buy a house.
we'll be in Zimbabwe soon.
Yeah.
Oh, let's talk about that money.
where's that?
What a segue.
Has anyone
That
heard
was
of
almost
it?
like an Adam segue, you must admit.
Yeah, it was.
It's pretty good.
I'm kind of jealous I didn't come up with it. Asshole.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh, no, I just brought them in as like notes. Just because.
The Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe.
What's it? Is it the dollar?
Turn it over.
This is Zimbabwe. Oh, there's Mugabe. My brother met him in a supermarket in Singapore. He was over there. His missus worked over there every now and then. And he calls me up and goes, Robert Mugabe's in front of me. I'm like,
Is it bad?
really?
Wow.
Was he a bad dude?
He's portrayed as a bad dude. I don't know who to believe.
he like a dick?
I think he ended up being pretty weird, but then, I don't know.
Hold it up to the camera
They say
there,
Putin's
mate.
a bad dude, and that guy is pretty much fucking Mother Teresa.
These in like as
Don't know how that's going to look. Probably shit house,
Probably
but
not
anyway.
shit. That's in there.
That's
And this
cool.
is
That's a cool bill.
Turn it around.
This is
Yeah,
a 100
There-
decillion dollars.
Decillion.
Decillion? I didn't know there was such a number as a decillion.
No.
There isn't. There's
They're beautiful looking notes,
they're
though.
like the normal.
great.
They're your
Fuck
normal
me.
everyday in your wallet banknotes.
Oh, yeah.
And these are the ones that are gold
Decillion
plated or whatever.
dollars.
Like that people might collect. Like people collect coins, and
these
it's
are great.
and it's a coin that
You just got them
comes in a
online?
little case.
It's like
on
Dr.
eBay. On
Evil
eBay,
just
they're
come
like
up with the
$5
name,
each
eh?
or $4
Yeah.
each or whatever.
That's
and
great.
I just bought these because I thought for my little boy, or for
100
kids or whatever. Like, just for the
trillion
sake of, well, he's only 3 now, but as he grows up, I want to have interesting things or whatever for him, and just be like, oh,
Pretty
you know,
cool,
like
man.
this is
fucking
the
interesting.
world. This is the real world.
The kids
Because you're not
would
going to
love
learn
this.
about this at school.
1 trillion.
Imagine playing
So-
fucking Monopoly.
Yeah.
$1 trillion.
5 octillion. That's not even a
It's just
number.
ridiculous, you know. So they
Octillion.
It could be 500,000 octillion. I don't know.
they made
It sounds
these
like a
to
fucking disease.
stop people taking wheelbarrows full of cash to the bank or
yeah.
down to the shops, you know, like.
So, in comparison, what can you buy with the
Oh, no idea,
fucking
no idea.
octillion dollars?
Probably.
No idea, and I don't know if they're
Loaf of bread.
maybe they're not legal tender anymore, but because they've gone back and reset their system.
Okay, yeah.
They lopped a whole heap of zeros off, and the government changed, and blah blah blah. blah.
These are insane, aren't they?
I don't exactly know, but yeah. So, because you wrote me that message, and
That's
then I went to
beautiful.
the bookshelf
Yeah.
to grab you a book that your message made me think about.
Yeah.
And then they were sitting there too, and I thought, oh, yeah, bring them in because
It's interesting.
that should
Those numbers aren't real.
50 billion.
Yeah,
I thought once it got to a trillion, you kind of just stopped.
well, apparently
Normally you
not.
would.
But
Like,
But I don't think Bezos is
in
going to
what are you getting to?
What,
In,
octillion?
infinity million? Like,
Nah, infinity plus 1. Yeah, I was just saying I was going to say, just about Southern Africa. My favourite South African of all time is that guy. Remember Nelson Mandela died?
Yeah.
And they were doing a worldwide coverage and they had this person giving a speech about him, like billions watching, and they had the person doing the deaf shit behind him. and he didn't fucking speak sign language. So he just got up there and was it was fucking brilliant.
Oh, I love
Go
that.
Watch it. The balls of the guy. The whole fucking world's watching. Just making everything up. Some weird South African variant on
yeah, it's
fucking
the
funny,
South
man.
African strain.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it worked once. Why not use it again?
Yeah.
Fuckers.
Oh,
yeah, that was
how
gold.
embarrassing.
It's great. And he had a
Yeah.
couple of days off afterwards because of stress, you know.
Have you guys been listening to Joe Rogan at all lately?
I listened to the dreadlock professor dude about the drugs.
What'd you think?
He really likes drugs, man.
He does,
He
eh?
fucking loves
He's a
them.
real
But he had some
advocate.
good points as
No,
well.
I've thought like that
Dr.
since I
Carl,
was
I'm
only
halfway
20
into
years
that.
old. It's completely right. The
Yeah.
war on drugs just fucking hurts people and
Yeah.
gives drug dealers money.
Yeah.
It fucking doesn't work. It's a health
He's like,
problem,
if you want to put it into your body, you should have the right as a man, as long as you're of age, you know,
Yeah,
old
yeah.
enough.
Well, the thing
to
is, it doesn't even
experience it.
matter to give this moral shit on it. The thing is, we can't stop it, and it's fucking crime, people dying and shit.
Yeah.
If we can't
Yeah.
stop it, we need to just get over it and say, right, we can fix it another way. We can help these people. Heroin addicts, just give them their fucking heroin. It'll be like insulin.
Yeah.
You don't hassle fucking diabetics because they just got to shoot insulin. Like,
Yeah.
But there's so much money rolled up in it, like you were saying, man.
Yeah.
Without drugs, without illegal drugs, there'd be no there'd be no rehab place. Well, there'll be rehab places actually.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of vested in it, and there's a lot of
Exactly.
fucking criminal
Exactly.
money and governments and stuff. Like it does flow somewhere. It's not pretend.
Police
Like-
unions and all that, they're prison unions. They're all
yeah.
dead against
Yeah.
that kind of thing, even as a conversation, because
Well-
they're all their members, they're about to lose some job description.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they won't even entertain the conversation.
Yeah, it's a real shame because it's not working.
Your nose.
Is
I
it?
just did,
That's mad.
me? I don't know.
I can't
I
whistle,
didn't even
man.
breathe.
Oh, that was gold. But anyway, so I was scrolling through because I thought we're on Spotify. I wonder if Spotify bring his whole entire library onto Spotify.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because he's
Yeah.
the only one doing videos and
Yeah,
audio.
yeah. Old Joe.
So I was just like scrolling through 1,500 or something he's at now, down to one.
Yeah.
And I decided to watch the first one. And it's fucking so bad.
Is it?
So I scrolled up to like when they first got mics or something. I think it was like 24.
Yeah.
And Eddie Bravo's on there, and they're talking about the flashlight.
Oh,
You know, the
yeah.
flashlight fucking masturbation
Yeah.
tool.
Yeah,
like,
right.
and he's sponsored by him. And they're all talking about it and that. And I remember years ago, I was,
Is this a flashlight story?
this is a,
Oh.
yeah, it's going to be. So years ago, there was a guy, he was working on weekends and I was through the week, but I'd do overtime every now and then. And he'd tell me these stories and shit. And he said that he broke up with his wife. And he had a pretty bad breakup, so he was staying away from women for a long time. So he's gone to the sex shop, bought a flashlight, and he goes, "Oh, I fucked the shit out of that," and it was broken in like 2 months. Like, how do you fucking break it?
How long do they last?
Obviously not more than 2 months.
Was he quite proud of that?
It was a bit strange, eh?
Did he touch you afterwards?
Do you want to see it? Smell it.
Well, he touched me because I told him to. He was smaller than me.
What's remember them bags of celery?
Yeah. So I read Motley Crue's Tommy Land it was.
Oh, yeah.
Tommy Lee, the fucking drummer. And he said that he was hanging out with all these porn stars. And he's asked one of them, "How do you get them monster loads? Like, just go fucking everywhere." And the guy goes, "You gotta eat like a ton of celery." Like a fucking shitload of celery. So I told the boys. And Kano brings in just bags and bags of celery. And he's like, "We're fucking trying it tonight." And I think, did you?
We all had a bag each.
Did you get through yours?
No one did.
Kane did.
Celery like that.
Kane did.
He did.
Kane just got through
It was
fucking like a big bunch.
If you go to Woolies,
Wow.
Woolies or whatever there in Inandera, there's bags of celery already chopped up or whatever, and so he stopped in there and grabbed like 6 bags of celery on his way to work one night.
Yeah.
So we're cutting away,
it is
chomping on the
absolutely-
celery.
It is a full-on physical challenge.
It's hard,
Your jaw is glowing. You know? You're like a cow. You're just like, just cannot stop chewing, and this fibrous fucking celery is just staring at you. Like, like, and he's trying to be like, you know, eat! Everyone eat! Like, what's
It was hard, eh?
Yeah.
It was
he's
the hardest
only
thing.
one. He's
Anyway, so the plan was the next day,
Compare.
see how your loads go, and he reckons he had a face shield, and like he goes, "I was expecting it just to be out of control," but yeah, he goes, "It's debunked."
They probably hadn't even digested
busted.
it.
No, well, I don't know, and I'm like,
Myth was busted.
I'm still living by it, but I think it's a golden.
Evidently, it takes more energy to digest celery than the celery.
Yeah, to eat
Isn't
it.
that why they say
right,
it's
yeah.
good for losing weight?
Yeah, fucking A. If you
That's why it's good to munch on when you're cutting weight.
Yeah.
I like celery.
Yeah, it's
I
good.
fucking don't like it, eh?
Yeah.
Especially
Celery,
after trying to
carrots,
eat
Try
it.
300 grams.
One hit.
Yeah. You feel like a horse.
You'll be
Like,
fucking so over it by the
I
end.
don't like it that much.
No.
No, a little
No, but you probably like it with dip.
But well hydrated.
bit. Dick.
Dip.
Really? So much dick talk.
Yeah, I know.
Fucking hell, this is a Kiwi here.
You got it on the
Here's
brain.
the Kiwi.
Jesus Christ.
Dip.
I'm going to wet
We need
myself.
to-
I've got to go. I'm out there.
Oh, man.
This is
Oh,
really...
you got a fish in
I'm
pants.
pissing
Oh,
pants.
fuck.
We're not going to
Oh, yeah.
stop. Keep going, guys.
We need to raise the
Oh, I
bar
was
here.
going to hit you about...
So Stephen Hawking walks into a bar. No, he doesn't.
You know what I always thought about that? Who the fuck come up with that bloody thing that,
Yeah, that's
like, to make him...
Communicator.
Yeah.
It would have been based on
It's
maybe
incredible.
vibration or something.
I don't know, because you see his eyes, like, dart around a lot. I thought it might have been, like, an optical
Yeah.
thing. Like, he could...
Didn't he have
and then he could click,
computer-
you know, like it
That
was...
was all.
I don't
He
know.
could type what he wanted it to say.
Yeah, but I think he got to that bad of a disease where he couldn't even use his fingers.
Yeah, right. That, yeah.
Because there's a...
See, now, that's like
It was Lou Gehrig's, wasn't it? Like, he had...
motor neurons, or like one of those types of things
Yeah.
where it did degenerative diseases, you
Yeah.
know, like, you know, like say with the developmental neurotoxins and different things, like autism and Alzheimer's and dementia and that are all like sort of in the same basket. They're autism's in a way like a childhood Alzheimer's. Technically, like it's the demyelination of your nervous system. It's the layers coming apart and then the messages are not going through, and
Yeah.
you can reach a saturation point or exposure level of certain things that cause demyelination and that, and you know, like, so there's things out there like anticholinergics, which are types of antihistamines and sleeping tablets and that, or antidepressants and that, which Xanax, I think it is. I don't want to quote the percentage. It's an absolutely ridiculous percentage. If you take Xanax for 30 days straight, you have just increased your chances of Alzheimer's and dementias by like 50 or 60%. Or it's an enormously scary number. And it's because what's in the Xanax rots your fucking nervous system. It's rotting it. It's making it like, you know when you buy some piece of shit furniture from Fantastic Furniture and it go home and it gets wet and just fucking you can't sit on that ever again because it's just going to collapse underneath you.
We've all been there.
Demyelination of the shitty particle board.
Yeah.
You know? Well, if your nervous system comes apart, the scales are coming off the snake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, developmental neurotoxins are, you know, like the
Back on this one.
Great
I
big-
wonder what we're talking
we've
about.
done full circle. This is great.
It's where, like, you know, after a whole, like, fair enough, you may, when people say, oh, we've got that in our family, or we've got prostate cancer in our family, for example, people might say that. I'm just generalising here, okay? But that's probably because your pop died from it. It's because your dad went and got tested, and that's because what do we know about our families back further than pop?
Not much.
Nothing.
No.
So what's in your family? Do you know what's in your family? No, you know what's in the last bloody 50 years or 30 years or whatever, and that's all you know.
Yeah.
Which is a similar,
Now-
probably environmental factor.
Exactly.
To what you've been,
If I subject myself to exactly the same environment as my dad
yeah, of course. You get,
and my mum,
Yeah.
because they live in the same house and I live around the corner and we both go to the same shops and the shops get the food from the same places, technically, over a lifetime of doing that, well, if that's shit food that's coming in, their genetic library of solutions, their DNA, is probably going to throw off some solutions for the mutations that are happening because your body's always mutating, it's always cells are always changing and
Every 7 years, isn't it?
cancer and shit's popping up and little things are going wrong and that all the time and your body's just ironing it all out and your immune system's taking care of everything. And that's like, you know, when they say you get a vaccine and then your body remembers what to do and the vaccine makes you safe. No, the vaccine apparently taught your body what to do when it's presented with that again. Stores it in the DNA, in the genetic library of solutions. Next time you're presented with this thing, bang, there you go. That's how the vaccine works. So then you go and have a baby and you pass on to the baby, like, this is the world I've faced. This is what I came up against. This is what you need to know. And your DNA and her DNA mixed together and you're both telling them what the world's going to be like that you're going to face. So if you chop your finger off, it's not like your baby's born missing a finger.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, if you grow up living in the snow or it's freezing bloody cold all the time, you're passing on genetic information relating to the environment where you're living and things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The tropics or, you know, wherever it might be. And so the DNA is the genetic solution. It doesn't adapt to things. It's the library.
yeah.
I don't remember where I was before that.
What did we start on?
The neuro.
We went haywire when I left. We're on something normal.
Become very deep.
That's great. You know, I love it.
I'm talking about autism and
No, it's
Autism,
the
The neurotoxin, that's what we started with, eh?
yeah.
Was that
That's
the
where it
first
fallen
start
back
or the
to.
second?
That was the first start.
first start,
the
second
first
start.
You know, if you say autism as an example, like a lot of people are going to get very angry or very upset or very like, oh, you don't know about that or what, you know what I mean?
Well, everyone
So,
for our watchers,
people
everyone
become
knows
offended.
to do their own research about
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
We're
We
just
just-
putting ideas out there.
Yeah.
And you're adults and you can figure it out.
Yeah, so I don't mean to offend anyone or cause anyone any grief
but
by
speak
talking
for
about
it.
some
Yeah,
things
you
like,
just
you know,
use
you
it
can,
as an
you can
example,
just
man.
like if you know when they say, oh, depression is a chemical imbalance and people
Yeah.
will be like, no, it's fucking not, and there's a real big like,
Yeah.
no, it is or no, it isn't, and this and that. Well, where that statement comes from is that in your synapses, so where you've got like the spark that flies from this one to that one, and I don't understand what's going on at that point, but you've got that in a soup of fluid and this and that inside your brain, and it's full of magnesium and it's full of calcium. And there's a certain ratio of a balance that they're in. I think it's like 1-4 or something. And if the calcium and the magnesium get out of whack, what happens is the magnesium is depleted and the calcium is going wild, and magnesium keeps it kind of somewhat calm. So you become tired and you become like in the brain, the depressive things happen. And that's where people would say that depression's a chemical imbalance. When, like, really, if you...
But if you're in a depressed, like, I met someone the other day who's in a really depressed state, you know, because
it's not
the house
the only
sucks.
one and only...
And,
Yeah.
Life sucks, you've got no work. Like depression's a normal state of affairs.
Absolutely.
If you're in a shithole, isn't it? You know,
it is. And it's the way you deal with it in a lot of ways, viewing things from your perspective that no one else understands and things as well. When to digest one molecule of sugar requires 50 molecules of magnesium. So if you drink a can of Coke, you're setting yourself up to deplete your magnesium supplies really quickly. A lot of calcium supplements that were around for a long time were just calcium only, and everyone's real big into taking all these things, you know.
The strongest bones in the world are the Maasai, and they don't drink dairy. They have anything to do with it. And it turns out the more dairy in the society, the worse the osteoporosis. So
because of the inflammation.
Could well be,
Yeah.
You think we would have got it? I used to go to a naturopath. There's a cool cat, and I asked him about that. About not drinking dairy and maybe not lectins. You know, this guy, you shouldn't eat lectins and stuff like that. Pulses is no good for you, saying. And he's a heart surgeon. I got heart problems, so I was talking to Gary about it, and Gary said, "Look, if you get your stomach pH right, you know, if your stomach's rocking, it can handle a lot of shit. And you know, like there's probably a imbalance somewhere in your gut, like in your stomach. Like if you got reflux in that and heartburn, it can't be
acid.
There's another idea that it's not enough acid, that it's not breaking down the stuff in your stomach enough, so bacteria is getting up and pushing everything out. If you're stronger stomach acid, it would actually break it down easier.
The casein which is in a lot of dairy products, is one of the most carcinogenic things known of all.
Is that right? Really?
Yeah. And you know, it's in dairy, so we've got casein kind of supplements out there, but the calcium supplements were originally come out just as calcium, but now they come out at like say 500 milligrams of calcium and 125 of magnesium. Like they come as a balanced tablet now, because
to balance it
if
out.
you take like a 500 milligram calcium tablet alone, within an hour you'll be having downward spiral depressing thoughts and things brought on by the chemical change. And so, you know, I was only come onto that from like, I use it as an example of where like if you say something and people get really offended, you know.
Do people really get offended? Like, I know Americans seem to and stuff, like on TV, but I don't know anyone that gets offended by stuff.
Yeah, you can find them.
Agitated.
People. If I try
to ideas,
go on Facebook,
some weird way of like, I don't know, end up just rambling on talking about junk like this, and next thing you know, people, I've said something that's offended someone.
Yeah,
You don't
And I
die
don't
from
mean
that.
to. I don't mean to. No, I'm still
You don't
here.
get
I'm
cancer
still
or
here.
anything. You're okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I don't actually mean to.
It's okay to be offended.
Yeah.
I'm offended. Well,
It's a different.
Yeah.
You've just
You're punching the head.
listened, you've just listened to a
Steve
different
Hughes.
viewpoint. You know, like,
yeah.
you could look at it like that.
When's the last time you were actually offended?
Yeah,
I could never be offended for myself because I don't care.
don't.
Maybe if someone annoyed the kids, was a dick to them. But even that's not offence. That's just a
good-
parental
a good fluff.
protection thing.
Yeah, it is.
So what's? I don't know how you could offend me. That might do it.
offensive.
Like,
So if people actually
if
feel
I
like
drop
that-
one out here and you've got to try and escape, you're like,
I would be offended.
That's offensive. Talking like nothing's happening.
Yeah.
You just
how dare you fart in my studio?
That's right. That's a fair enough offence.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah.
I can't believe people would feel that same feeling because of what someone said. Like
Yes.
you taking a really dirty fart, I mean,
Yeah.
that's offensive.
People
You know?
troll though too. People troll.
Yes.
I've
Yes.
Trolls
done,
are
I've done
alright.
it.
Serial provoker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
a
feeding them.
Narcissist style.
They don't realise I'm trolling the
You're
troll.
feeding the demon again, Willie.
Yeah.
Feeding that demon.
Let it
Always.
out. Let it out.
Nah, spread the love.
Yeah, I remember I got into a big fucking big argument. Well, I wasn't really in it. It was all the other people, but I was just sort of getting the notifications. They were talking about Dimebag Darrell after he died, getting Zakk Wylde to play guitar in Pantera and get them touring again, you know? And fucking Zakk Wylde said no kind of thing, and then they're throwing other names into the mix and shit, and I just typed up like Randy Rhoads, like just as a joke and that, and fucking hell, they went wild.
They hated you. Who is this fucking
Yeah.
idiot? He's dead already.
Yeah,
They didn't
they
get
didn't
it.
see the joke.
That's great. Stir him up, man, like Bob Marley said.
Yeah, it went. I think it was like 58 comments just on that one fucking. I was like showing people proud.
Yeah.
I hope you die.
Yeah, over fucking something you say.
Yeah, but
Words.
not even after real people, though, anyway.
No,
And it's a different interface, isn't it? Like, no one, you don't...
you're
like
never going
Twitter
to
and
see this
stuff.
person.
Yeah, but it's weird how it's all, there's so much negative in people online. It's really, I don't
Yeah.
know, because we're not like that normally, and it doesn't
Nah,
make you
man.
feel good.
Like-
I don't
Yeah.
understand it.
Like straight to 10 on the volume of
Yeah.
vicious
And capital
and
letters
yeah.
and just,
Yeah.
even if they're trying to grieve you, a lot of people, but like, I don't know, like Facebook, we've had it long enough now to realise what it's for, and it's for fucking cat videos, and that's it. You know, it's not for spreading any political views. I used to do that, but now I know it doesn't do a fucking thing apart
Nah.
from give Zuckerberg money.
Yeah.
You know, if you actually want to get involved in
Yeah.
shit, you've got to just get out there and
A lot of
fucking
weird
join a
shit.
party or something.
Like
you
a
know?
lot of
Get
apps
involved.
use Facebook to log into now too, which is weird. You don't want
man.
that shit.
Keeping you up there, Marky Mark.
I got a few yawns going on.
That's what- hey, I got to get up at 5 tomorrow. The young fella's getting, Arlo's getting his tonsils and adenoids out.
Nice.
Yeah, he's all excited. Just like
Is
it's
he?
Christmas.
Is he?
He's got
Oh,
he's never
fuck.
felt pain
Yeah,
really
right.
before, you know. So.
Just eat ice cream after. So.
Yeah, that's what we told him.
Yeah.
Shitloads of ice cream and jelly, you'll be
Yeah.
right. But he is the most hypochondriac kid, man.
Yeah,
he got
right.
stung for like the second time or first time the other day. It was on the elbow, it was sore, but oh, Jesus, man. They're going to call the ambulance
Oh,
at fucking
shit.
next door. What's happened to this kid? And so after
Shit.
tomorrow, he's going to go off. Luckily,
Yeah.
Mum's staying with him overnight. So,
Oh
Good
God,
neighbourhood.
Banshee.
bitch, he's going to lose his shit.
Yeah, you love the screen.
All right, Eggy. Thanks for coming in, man.
Yeah. wild.
Thanks
It's a
very
funny
much.
chat.
It's been,
It was a good chat,
good.
man.
Good to get
Yeah, it's
different
that-
perspectives on shit and have a laugh.
That first 40 odd minutes was pretty good too, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, you know what? I
do
might
that.
loop it.
So funny.
I might throw it on the back end.
That was as funny as.
Like cut it, and if it sounds alright, you know, I'll throw it at the end. So if people want to, they can watch what we talked about.
All right.
All right, see you next week.
Don't